Hey, this is Dan.
Bob.
And Dr. Agro.
From GigaBoots.com, and welcome to the GigaBoots podcast. I stopped counting. Subtitle, I stopped counting.
but that time it's in italics.
How many times does it have to repeat itself now in the title?
Just
one.
Just once?
Well, yeah, it repeats itself once.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Unlike Dan, who
Yeah.
feels the need to repeat himself several times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In any case, this is the post E3 2013 podcast, and we're going to talk about how E3 went. Okay, so real quick, we're going to start with Microsoft because they were the first to go.
Right.
First off in the morning, and what we saw, and we got details later on some of these things, so we're actually going to provide those deets mostly on Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say that this is, we say post E3, but this is basically right after all the conferences.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if there's
Well, I
something
mean-
announced in the final day of E3.
Yeah, but that's
Video
sort of
games
how
are
all the
canceled.
media is treating it, and I think people who are listening to this, while it's relevant, understand that. I guess for posterity's sake, we should mention that this is Tuesday, and that the pre-E3 conferences were Monday, and they went pretty much all fucking day.
Yeah.
Where Microsoft and EA's were on TV, and Ubisoft and Sony, they don't have that spike money dollars to not run ads for like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Damn.
Microsoft's conference was 90 minutes, was it? An hour to 90 minutes, something like that. I heard some references to it post the fact that it was about 90. The next two people, EA and Ubisoft, were about an hour, if I remember correctly, and then Sony's was 2 fucking hours.
Yeah, or at least an hour 45 or something like that.
Now, it worked out like really, really goddamn close. If it wasn't over 2 hours, I'd be surprised. But that was mostly because of they had to stop delivering lines at the end of it to let it quiet down enough. But we'll get to that later. Let's not spoil that for anyone who somehow doesn't know. So, starting with the Microsoft conference, they came out on the stage and they said some mouth words and they showed off some games. I'm going to start with the first one that comes to my mind, even though it wasn't the first shown, Killer Instinct. Mm-hmm. They announced Killer Instinct's being developed. It's not being developed by Rare. It's being made by people somewhere. They only showed 3 characters, which was Glacius, Jago, and Saberwolf.
Right.
Which is weird, because that means no Fulgore, and it's fucking Killer Instinct.
He was the main character.
He was, like, the main character. Yeah.
Maybe it's like Street Fighter, where over here Guile's the main character. At least that's what the Japanese keep telling us.
I know, right? What the Okay, in any case, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
In Japan, Cinder is the main character.
Why wouldn't he be?
Because the
Killer
Xbox
Instinct
One...
2, Return to Cinder.
No.
No, that's... Aggro, you've gone too far.
We've gone too far.
Insufficient postage.
Okay, in any case, so they show it off. Graphically, it looks not really that far out of reach of the modern consoles, except for the fact it has, like, occasionally, not all the hits, just super hits of some specific nature, have insane amounts of particles.
Probably
spray
too
out of
much.
it.
Too many
Yeah,
particles. That looks weird.
It did look weird because it was a perfect sphere. There was no physics applied to it. It was just a perfect sphere that exploded outwards, and then it fell to the ground.
Right.
Nice.
It wasn't like, my fist is coming this way, it's gonna that way.
Honestly, I want more shit like that in Killer Instinct. I
Just
want more
sticking
particle physics.
spears.
I want more light things. I want more odd geometry coming off of physical blows.
But see, yeah, I want all that too, but I want it in a stylized, cool way, kind of like Tekken does. Like,
Fuck
they
that. More
just can't-
squares.
What?
Just squares and shit all over the screen.
Like
We
those
don't
guys,
even need to finish making it, do we?
it's
like-
goddamn Killer Instinct.
like those guys in Infamous Second Son who have like square pillars come out of their ass.
Geometry.
Did that man just fly away via geometry? I'm going to math harder than I've ever mathed in my entire life. But yeah, basically, it's free to play, which is why they only showed off 3 characters. Apparently, one comes free and you buy the rest.
Now, does the cheap-ass character come free, or does the shitty character come free?
It's Killer Instinct. I don't even know what that means because they can all do like 60 hit
you
combos.
get one character, but it can't do combos until you pay.
Oh no.
Steve! Pay $1.
It's just some normal dude.
Just some asshole in a baseball hat. What's up, guys? Single punch? Yeah.
Yeah. Xbox go home. But yeah, so graphically not that amazing. The sphere of particle explosions were really cool, and that's actually one of the hardware specialties. Let me rephrase. That's the only hardware specialty of the Xbox One. Yeah, there's a really fast latency on ES RAM on a what's the term? It means something that is designed specifically for something. Whatever.
Proprietary?
It's not designated. It has a designated bus directly to the ES RAM. So it's really good at doing particle effects. I don't know at this point that it's any better than the PS4 is capable of because I saw Infamous Second Son. But yeah, so it was really cool to see particle effects. I just wish it wasn't perfect spheres. I wish it was a little bit more like cool. Like you see in movies when they put CG over stuff and you get like the anime lines or whatever. But in any case, so I'm really disappointed that it isn't like Killer Instinct's back after 20 years. I really wanted it to be way over the top. Like, we put too much effort into this. No one plays fighting games.
Mortal Kombat comeback style.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even have to be that. It doesn't even have to be successful. It just has to be, hey, we here at Microsoft respect the fact that we need to act like we have any integrity or street cred, and that
Those days are gone, but we'll get to that.
yeah. So, in any case,
I was just gonna say it just
Killer Instinct.
It does not look like what I would expect from a one-on-one fighter on a next-gen console.
Yeah,
that's just a joke.
In fact, Tekken came out with a free-to-play fighter today that looks better than any of the Tekkens that have come out this gen. It has really crazy
I haven't looked at it yet. Seriously?
Per character, there are 3 or 4 moves that have insane amounts of embellishment on them. Because, Tekken Tag had 4 characters, technically. Yeah, so it had to deal with 4 characters at once, sort of. So when they went back to one-on-one, they were like, we have a full character fucking polygons.
It is a character of particle effects.
Yeah.
Is that a selectable costume for Mokujin? He's just particle effects?
Particle Gene.
Particle Gene.
So yeah, I do agree. A free-to-play game doesn't necessarily mean it should look cheap.
Right? I mean, look at things like...
Warframe.
Yeah, Warframe. What was that?
I did not know that was a free-to-play multiplayer. Like, I saw footage of it online. I'm like, oh, this is a weird kind of action-adventure game. That's kind of crazy. Because it was just him fighting AI mechs. And then I saw, 10 of those guys in a room with all different colors and weapons just blowing shit up. I'm like, holy fuck!
Yeah, so that's going to be on the PS4 and PC. Mm-hmm. Free-to-play. Really excited. In any case. But yeah...
Really worried that might trip your Guns the Duel addiction again.
Good, someone else knows. Because I know I'm fucked. I love Guns the Duel.
Someone will tell his story.
I love Guns the Duel. Now that some remotely talented studio with polish is doing a game like that, I'm fucked.
Yeah, I hope that there's some competitive aspect to it. Last time I tried the beta, there wasn't yet, so I'm not sure if that's a plan they have to do or not.
Or, yeah.
Because if you don't make competitive mode,
do you guys have to... Do you guys have to do that plan? Oh no, plans? We don't do plans. We do frames and wars. That's what we're about. Then concepts, frame of concepts, concept frames. But yeah, I'm really disappointed because that engenders the concept of free to play is good enough just being okay looking.
Something else that bothered me about that was after he beat the guy and uploaded the video, that was nothing like.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and cover how this worked. They did a match on stage with some terrible dialogue, but it's E3, so
honestly, it was above average for E3.
Including the rape joke, or
including what might have been a rape joke that I'm surprised I haven't already seen multiple blog posts about.
Oh, it's happened.
Awesome.
Yeah, I forget who Kotaku, Penny Arcade Report.
I don't think Penny Arcade Report did it yet.
Did you read their PS4 coverage?
No, not yet.
Oh, it's exquisite. We'll take a break to let you.
Oh, wait, that live block thing?
No.
Well, not just that, but in any case, yeah. So, and after they have this match, they're like, okay, now actually we're using Game DVR. Game DVR is now going to be able to take this clip and take the whole match and upload it to the servers, and I get to select a skin for it. I'm going to select, who did he select? Fulgor? Jago. He's like, I'm going to select Jago as my skin. So when somebody comes in here and selects that, they're going to see Jago there. And then he selects that. And then a highly edited video plays with crazy effects over it and everything.
Because the guy's saying in just a few seconds he can edit it to put his own personal style on it.
And then it's just a completely different fight. Like, the person obviously missed an uppercut they tried to pull off, and then in the edited video, it just hit, straight on.
It was wholly different gameplay.
And now, the amazing part is the Game DVR UI concept, or whatever you call this level of lying, only said 30 seconds were available. So, that's not the whole fight.
Was that 30-second match? I don't know.
It said 30-31. No, that was longer than 30 seconds. Jesus, man.
Okay, I don't know.
And I didn't distend it in my brain because of awkward dialogue. Like, I was watching the counter go down. It went down more than 30 seconds.
Right.
So it's like, okay, so is the Xbox One only going to be able to record the last 30 seconds? Because that's very possible. This seems like they looked at the PS4 and went, we can do that too, since we have Windows in there and we have to do the video processing in order to even fucking display the thing.
I know they really, really want to believe that shoving a Windows OS into every problem will fix it.
That's why I was laughing earlier while we were watching that interview with Don Matrick, because it was just like, Windows 8. Not doing too well here, man. We should put it somewhere else. Let's put it in Xbox. Oh, that's not doing well either. Okay, let's put it somewhere else. Mountain Dew. Doritos. Where the fuck are my Doritos? Poster for Windows 8. But in any case, any other comments on Killer Instinct?
No.
Aggro? No?
No.
Okay, we're moving on.
All right.
They showed off Rise. That was actually the first game they showed. And the reason for this was...
the first game they showed was Metal Gear.
That's true. They did show Metal Gear, and it was a trailer. And
it looked amazing.
And it looked amazing. But in any case, so they show off their exclusive Rise, which, in case you didn't know, is being developed by Crytek. And they've been talking about how it's a Kinect game for a while. Well, it's no longer a Kinect game, but the whole point of showing Rise first was to establish the graphical caliber of the Xbox One. But it's basically a QTE fighter where you go in as a Roman and it's all mostly one-on-one fights, and it pops up with what button you need to hit to win.
Right.
And then there was a segment where...
I might enjoy playing through.
When I get to Uncharted and fights don't feel right.
It's a very completely different thing.
I mean,
it feels like the worst part of Uncharted, the game. Like, that one nugget I rather dislike about Uncharted, where it's, like, super over-the-top scripted. Like, not cool.
With the,
Not cool. Like, you're bashing him this way. Now hit this button to bash him that way. Like, maybe not Uncharted, but... I don't know. Like, Uncharted and God of War do really good jobs of making, if you're doing that, is so fucking awesome right now.
Yeah.
But there are games where, it's just a QTE, and you're just sitting there, can't I just play a video game? Maybe. I don't know.
That he had the QT every one of them.
Everything.
Just made it seem like it was obviously originally a Kinect game. It was just like, okay, that's where he would do the movement to finish the guy, but instead he
hits X.
Yeah.
And I guess they realized...
I was saying for the presentation of the game, the way it looks, the way it was moving, it seems like a thing I'd sit there and like press buttons to watch.
Well, see, I could see it working as a Kinect game. I really
if Kinect games worked.
Yeah. I mean, with, what is it now, 180 milliseconds of lag now? So it's still a massive amount, but with that much latency, you can't do a normal video game. But in any case, it's almost like they went, we can make this a Kinect game, and it'll work as well as a Kinect game can. But this is about Spartans being awesome. That sounds like a core title. Oh, that's true. Sorry, everyone. Sorry. We had a Spartan discussion in the middle of the gameplay trailer on stage. So, thus the confusion. But in any case, it's about Romans being awesome. That sounds like a core title. And we really need a core title. And Jesus Christ, do they really need a core title?
Yeah.
So they core. There,
So
it's all on my system.
Play as Cortana.
So, wow. So they just turned it into a controller game, but the problem is it's basically like press this button to continue watching this animation.
Right.
Which I've seen indie games that are kind of neat that do that. Datura is really neat when you saw off your arm.
I think that's what I should clarify. That looks kind of interesting. They're giving it way too much hype for what it is.
Yeah.
And I like that it was just straight up Saving Private Ryan there at the beginning, only with Romans.
Yeah, you're storming a beach.
You're
That's
storming
what that
a
shit's
beach.
like. That shit has not changed for thousands of years.
So
even when you just look over and see the exact scene of guy losing his arm, and then
that happened a lot. That's why they put it in
that exact
angle too. Okay.
That guy. Are you familiar with the old Christian fable of the wandering Jew? Because that's something that he does when he gets reincarnated. He loses his arm on a beach storming. You'd think the motherfucker would stop signing up for the army.
Okay, now here's the thing. I've actually seen a study that came out years ago. I forget which university did it. It was a university in Texas, and that exact angle is the best angle to show a man losing his arm on a beach while you're storming it. Science.
And Texas.
And Texan science.
They're really reliable at what to put in science textbooks.
It's pretty fucking...
Texas.
Damn it, aggro. I didn't laugh at any of the words until that. Smart jokes about textbooks.
Rise, spelled with a Y.
But in any case, Rise, spelt with a Y, obviously supposed to be... I mean, that was the prettiest game at the conference, I'm pretty sure.
What about Forza?
What about Forza? Did we see it? I don't remember.
Was Forza? I think they showed some footage from Forza.
They had a goddamn McLaren P1 on stage.
They brought the car out.
Yeah, they had the car there. I forgot. Let's move on to Forza. So about Forza.
Two things about Forza. One, they had a goddamn McLaren P1 on stage. Holy shit. That's
a lot of goddamn money.
A dedicated team with guns keeping people from touching that thing. Levels of money and security.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. I'm surprised it wasn't in a glass enclosure. Secondly, I love when that jackhole came out on stage, was talking about, like, you know, we could talk about polygons and textures.
That's right.
But it's not about that.
We've transcended that.
We're above talking about incremental levels of detail that you could use to compare us to other products.
Now let me talk about what kind of texture we put on it.
Right? Motherfucker, it's not about graphics, but it's about these graphical techniques we use.
Dravatars. That was the other
The Drivatar system, if it works like they're describing it,
that is ghost data blatantly.
Okay, guys, we got to introduce the podcast listeners to the concept. All so right. The Drivatar thing is basically they were driving Forza and they made it sound like the cloud powered the ability for you to drive, and then it judges you based on your driving, and it figures out and it extrapolates information about you, and then it shoots that out to everyone else on your friends list. So basically, they've automated ghost data in a sense, and they're populating other people's games with that ghost data.
Right, but it seems like a good step up from normal ghost data. I may be unfamiliar with how racing games currently do ghost data, because it seems like they just record races and average the pads out?
Generally, they'll extrapolate certain things about your driving style from it, whether or not you attack corners and things like that. A lot of the things they were talking about in that.
It seems like a good bit more complicated than I've ever heard it being described.
Right.
Most people don't
puts you in situations and tracks your average decisions on.
Most of the time when people announce ghost data as a feature, they don't make it sound like a next-gen godsend. They just go, yeah, we analyze your racing data.
Right? They don't have to extrapolate it into something that sounds incredible, but is really the same thing we've been doing for years.
Right.
Because
they were rolling that part.
I'll put that under disappointing if true.
I kind of, like, during that part of the conference, I was like, Bob, and Bob's like, what? And I'm like, Ridge Racer, PSP, that had ghost data, right? 8 years ago, right?
Tekken 5 had that.
Tekken 5 on the PS2 had that sort of...
that was recorded data from Japan's arcades, and they put it into the game, but then as we went to Tekken 6...
There was some motherfucker's ghost data in Japan playing Panda on Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection. I want to tear his lungs out. Fuck that guy. When I find you...
That guy is an asshole. Let me tell you. Okay, what other games did they announce? Dead Rising 3. They showed off Dead Rising 3, which was taking place in a really large city from what we could see. You play as a mechanic, and you can take a car and run down shitloads of zombies, like 100 or 200 on the
thick of a knot of them.
Yeah,
right.
which is awesome. Zombies physically slow down your car to the point of like, oh shit, I'm not moving.
Yeah. Now, one thing I noticed that it made it have been the selection of the trailer. It seemed a lot less funny than Dead Rising usually is.
Yeah,
they
it
even
lost the
mentioned
tongue
that.
in cheek. This is probably a story about feels.
Which would be interesting, like, if handled maturely and correctly, an interesting direction to take Dead Rising in. Because the character seems like he'd fit in a Dead Rising game. But then he's confronted with, oh, we're going to be grimdark about this? Oh, shit.
I always disagree with making that decision, because before Dead Rising was amazing because it was just straight up B-movie sort of stuff. I mean,
Even
one-liners in 2 were amazing.
yeah, the one-liners in 2 were amazing.
If handled artfully, like the amazing thematic juxtaposition of you duct taped a circular saw to the end of a sledgehammer with maybe we're the real monsters might be this whole new level of ironically amazing.
I don't know. I think 2's writing was perfect. Like, if you have a serious scene, make sure what's happening is so conceptually retarded and the acting is so sincere that it fucking works.
Yeah.
For example,
That's the sweet
I'm
spot.
number 1!
That guy's my hero.
He fucking is. That guy wanted you to know who number 1 was. And I don't think you're forgetting that anytime soon.
I was glad to see you could make the weapons on the go now. You don't need to
take it to the bench.
Yeah, because you brought the duct tape with you with
Right.
your mechanic onesie. That was your superpower.
Yep.
Like,
your
oh God,
superpower.
there's 200 zombies. Throws wrench. You are the shittiest zombie survivor.
Your
Right.
superpower was Microsoft Glass, and now that we're talking
my
about that, we should actually cover this and then go back to Rise. Microsoft Glass is their initiative to do the second screen experience as a major push into games. Now, this is how you know they're a bloated corporation, because they're pushing second screen experience. And they're desperate. It's basically like 3D and all sorts of other things that people push when they're fucking desperate. Only, I don't know, like 3D to gaming seems more, or in any case. So what they did is they pulled a tablet out on stage, and then they selected where to make an airstrike as your dude just stands there, and then an airstrike descends from the heavens and blows up the zombies. That was his superpower.
And I like that he didn't do anything. He's just looking at it as it happens.
Just staring.
This whole smart glass push thing is just it much like the original Kinect push. I get to watch people on stage paid to pretend that what they're doing isn't annoyingly retarded.
For Rise, the glass experience was a little bit even weirder, I guess. It was a bit better as an experience, but less valuable, too.
It was, all of that shit was completely useless.
Yeah.
Because one, it was Rise data, and...
Yeah, it was... Check how far through the level you are. I'm like, okay, guys, you are now pandering to people who want the level to be over. They aren't sticking with gaming much longer. They aren't buying that many games if they're looking at their tablet and going, how far am I from the fucking end of this? That's how I played Remember Me. I stopped playing halfway through, slightly over halfway through. I'm not going to buy that game. You should not be pandering to the Daniel that plays Remember Me. You should be pandering to the Daniel that plays Infamous and scours the entire city looking for tiny blue Skittles.
Yeah, because if I collect all of those, it'll push the ending a little farther away. Now, the other things to do with the tablet during Rise was like, oh, I'm comparing these stats with my friend. I'm like, you're pulling information, but isn't the design of the X-Bones operating system completely like focused on all this information being on the screen?
Yeah.
And then also the second screen now for some reason?
Like, they can't consistently design... Like, and I was telling Bob, like, this is the craziest thing ever. They've designed the second screen experience back onto the first screen.
Right?
And I said
yet
that
they're
back
still
at the
pushing.
reveal. And yet they're still pushing second screen. So third screen experience.
Oh, God.
Exclusive to Xbox One.
This thing is just a mess.
It kind of is. Okay, no, it really is.
Yeah.
Next game. Does anyone remember?
I think we should talk very briefly about Metal Gear, because it's really the only thing as it relates to the Microsoft conference is how they have once again, and I love every time they do it, they literally trot Kojima out on the stage, go, look, we got a Japanese guy.
And make him speak English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, when he shows up at Sony's, they understand, and he has a translator.
Yeah.
But he says, like, what, 3 words?
Yeah. And then, like...
Then they push him off.
What was it? Red just looks back over and he's like... Matrick? Just, like, looks over, he's like, thanks, Asian, and just shoos him off the stage.
Yeah. Here's our street cred. Hi, street cred. Bye, street cred. In any case, we have integrity. To talk about integrity, we're going to use the Microsoft class.
There was the... Shit, what's the name of that company that had a video that wasn't a game?
Black Tusk.
Black Tusk, that was it.
So they go, we have this cool company that's working on a thing, and it's a game, but that game's not ready to show today. What we have instead is a tech demo. They did it all in-engine on the Xbox One, and it's sort of their logo. So let's go ahead and watch that. And then they play this, like, here's the thing. I'm not an asshole. And you know I'm lying because I had to tell you.
We joke around here.
We joke around here. GigaBoots.
We have a lot of fun.
We have a lot of fun. We make a lot of jokes. You know, that's what we do. It's not sexist. In any case, it really wasn't that pretty. And maybe that's because we had Sony show off a lot of things 3 months ago that were drop dead gorgeous in comparison. And then they showed off more things yesterday. But when I was watching that video, I'm like, yeah, this is accomplishable. Like, that's all I did. I'm like, yeah, it's next gen. This is... I mean, it looks good. There are cool things happening, but it's edited in such a way that you know it's edited. Like, these are hard cuts. So you get to cheat at that point. Yes, the scenes are made in engine. You are hard cutting between entirely different 5 gigabyte loads of textures, and I would say 2 gigabytes are on that bullet shell right now. Because that was the only thing I was thinking about while watching that. I'm like, there's a city. Now it's inside the chamber of a gun. Now it's flying around. Why is this gun so technical? Whatever. Look at these textures. There's no way this fits in 5 gigs.
Way over-engineered pistol. Holy Jesus.
Right. How to build
maybe
a better
crammed
pistol.
Windows 8 into that.
They clearly did, and it's not running well.
You have to pull out your iPhone to reload your gun.
We also had the Insomniac announcement.
Oh yeah, Insomniac announced Sunshine Delight.
Sunny
D.
Sunny D,
Sunny
yeah.
D,
Damn
the
it.
game.
No, I almost had the title till you said Sunny D.
Sorry. But it's Sunny D the game. It's like a Sunny D commercial's ideology infused into a game.
Yeah, like I looked at it, I'm like, Insomniac could make that concept really, really fun. But then it's a completely online game, and that trailer made it look like it might be really, really crowded bullshit.
Yeah, the weird thing is it's a all CG trailer, and Insomniac turning out an all CG trailer is now a really, really bad taste in my mouth because of Overstrike. Which became Fuse. I'm saluting, but you can't see it. See, I just lied to you again. God, I'm such an asshole. But yeah, so I really don't trust them.
Yeah,
I don't trust
firmly
Microsoft.
on the wait and see list.
I don't trust Microsoft to have the integrity or understanding
of
of variety.
imperative at this point. I don't trust Microsoft.
Yeah, we really shouldn't. I mean, they're part of Project Prism, but that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day.
Speaking of projects, that was something else they showed off at the Project Spark.
Project Spark.
Oh, I forgot.
Which is a thing.
Yes, that looked very, very interesting.
We will have trouble articulating this one to you with words. You tell the Xbox, make rivers, make rivers.
Yeah,
it was like Vista Pro up in there.
Everything has to. But that contest is very interesting, where you just like design a level, give a few things behaviors, and make an encounter, like a set piece.
See, it's interesting, but it lacks so much structure, like Milo, that I look at it and I go, "This is cool and neat." I worry whether or not this will actually hit the market.
Yeah,
because there are a lot
I'm
of
hoping
things.
they're not lying about what this is.
Right.
Like, I'm like, oh, and then like the guy started like morphing the terrain while moving to throw a fireball. I'm like,
earthbending.
Oh shit, they might be lying. Oh damn.
Yeah, because
right.
it seemed like a really cool thing. It was kind of like the Media Molecule thing at the PlayStation 4 reveal. Like, they were honest, that wasn't a game.
Yeah.
They were like, here's this cool thing we made at Media Molecule where we could... And then people were like, what is this, a rhythm game? And they're like, no, you don't understand. And I'm like, is it because you don't understand? Because that's what it seems like. Yeah, so I kind of hold it in the same territory of I'm going to wait till I see more to remotely acknowledge it.
Conceptually, you make a small map where you build a little thing and you give objects behaviors and you set up enemies and have a single encounter. And just you have a shit ton of those made by the community. That sounds really cool.
And with any luck, you don't need a tablet to do it.
Right?
Because that's really worrying when they show the only input method is a $500 plus tablet.
Xbox, scroll cursor 2 degrees left. Xbox, raise... God damn it.
This is hard. Xbox right click.
Xbox, let me use the
click.
fucking controller.
No, you're supposed to hold those Xbox. Did I tell you to unclick? But yeah, so Project Spark seems kind of like Phil Harrison was like, I liked Little Big Planet. Time to make a more next-gen
there was
Little
a really
Big
hard
Planet.
Little Big Planet vibe off of it, which, isn't necessarily bad. We're going to put that on the wait and see list.
Yeah, that's where I'm putting it.
Right?
What's next?
What else was there? I mean, there's the big one, the Titanfall.
Titanfall. You gotta say the whole thing. You can't just say Titan because that's the MMO.
I was trying to
Blizzard.
remember it, okay?
Titan stuff.
Well, that's
Because it was
Titan Project.
I was thinking it was
I hear it got killed
Titanfall,
recently and restarted.
Titanfalls, whatever.
Titanfalls.
Every
Come,
time I hear
join.
Titanfall, I have like Cowboy Bebop flashbacks, and I think of the War on Titan. So now I'm thinking about Vicious in a mech, and I wet myself in terror.
And he did. Wow, that was.
Truth in advertising.
We're both lying. We're assholes. We're like that around GigaBoots. We like to be assholes. But yeah, Titanfalls. You take up a home in this cottage next to the Titan Falls, and you watch them. But there's a mystery about it, and you have to solve it.
So wait.
So anyway,
Titanfalls, like, is that a waterfall? Is it like
Yeah, it's
giants just falling down a river?
No, but the river is made of Titan blood.
Okay.
Yeah.
All good.
So it all works out.
God of War 5.
Okay, so I'm going to do the briefest explanation I can. The people who made up Infinity Ward and then left to make Respawn Entertainment, aka Respawn Entertainment, are now making a Source engine-made game that runs at 60 frames per second that is a first-person shooter that's very COD-like, in a good way, that has goddamn mechs in it.
And jetpacks.
And it's a really large online multiplayer game.
The gameplay video of that was so fucking sexy.
Yeah.
I adored the balance between, Armored Soldier and mech. Because, being Warhawk players that we are, I always love it when being on foot doesn't automatically mean you lose. Yeah. I loved how the balance factor was the mechs, they weren't sluggish, but they were slower. They didn't have the verticality or the maneuverability. Having those little hip jetpacks on while you're on foot, moving, wall running, jumping off things, ducking in and out of shit, the maneuverability versus power trade-off, it is the classic video game trade-off, and they did it beautifully, it looks like.
Yeah, real quick, slight excursion. Bob, in Starhawk, did you have a jetpack by default?
No.
There you go. That's where the balance fell apart.
Okay, we found it.
We found it. Because I remember when they added jetpacks to Warhawk, it made the infantry mode so much more helpful. Because you could outpace a lot of the vehicles. You could escape. You could do many, many things. And as you were mentioning that, I was like, that's what was wrong with Starhawk. And it all falls down from there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we got a balance for these infantry. Well, let's weaken everything else. Good, now nothing means anything. But yeah, Titanfall. Really cool. Xbox One exclusive and PC. So no PS4 version. At least for the first year from what the legal documents that leaked said.
This is us holding on to hope.
Right.
I don't fucking care. I got Destiny. I don't know
honestly,
that I'll get
Destiny, like every time I get disappointed about something being exclusive to the doomed ship of the Xbox One, I will turn around and think of Destiny.
It is Destiny. But yeah, Bob, you were really disappointed over the fact that's not coming to the...
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's definitely just looks really good. I like...
You can cry, bro. We won't make fun of you.
I like Modern Warfare 2 a lot, and that looked like Modern Warfare 2. And you guys are gonna laugh at me, aren't you?
Yeah. We're assholes around here. That's why we like to do that.
But yeah, I mean, that's basically everything I wanted. It looked super fast. I mean, I'm glad that the Destiny looks quick, a lot quicker than Halo. But
we're not talking about
we're not talking about Destiny right now. But
we'll talk about that later.
I'm glad that it looks like, or that it looks really fast, and that all the stuff where the mech actually grabs you and puts you in his chest. That's just awesome.
Yeah, and like you get that slight time sync of the boot up sequence. That great shit.
Yeah, that's cool. It slams the front of the mech in front of you, just slams it together, and then slowly all these video displays slide in front of you, piece by piece.
Watching that gameplay video, I know I'd love that game because I immediately start thinking of tactics of I've got like 2.5 seconds when he gets to that mech to blow it the fuck up. Yeah. Also, like he jumps out of the mech and like puts it in guard mode. So now the mech is just standing there turret style while he goes in a building.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And you're supposed to have your own mech. For each person, it's assigned the mech, though. You can't have your mech stolen or something. You can destroy the mechs. That, to me, immediately says you can customize that mech a lot. Just like you can with your guns. And that's just, amazing.
I'll see if it comes to the superior product.
Right.
And that's when I'll care. And no, like to be fair, guys, I'm really not a Sony fanboy. There was a time a long, long time ago that I was, and then like 2-3 years into the PS3's life, 2 years, I had to make the decision of whether or not I was getting a 360 or PS3, and it just boiled down to, sure, the 360 runs better, has custom soundtracks, but the PS3 doesn't make me pay for online. This gen's a little different, but we'll get to that later. So in any case, any other games? Were there any other games?
That didn't sound like 20. They promised 20 were going to be on stage, though.
They did that.
Minecraft was there. There's nothing else to say about that.
God damn it.
Whatever.
They were like, 60 million people have played War of Flame. What was that?
War of Tanks. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
World of Tanks.
World of Tanks.
Yeah.
They're like, World of Tanks. This is important. It's free to play on Gold. Like, that's not what free to... Whatever.
I was watching the announcement like, man, I know some people who love World of Tanks, and they're going to be super excited about this.
And it's for 360, so people will have a box that plays it. Mm-hmm. Yes, this is also very important because of how many people, just because of 3 weeks ago, were deciding to jump ship, let alone how E3 went.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then they, at the same time, they were like, Minecraft, Xbox One Edition, cubes, building.
Guys, it's Minecraft.
Yeah, which is why...
You could have just said it.
Which is why, I mean, it could be coming to the PS4, but Sony didn't trot that out on stage because it would come off like it did in the Xbox One thing of, like, our next-gen console can play Minecraft. That piece of shit your goddamn trash laptop can run.
Matrick was part of his mouthword session. I loved how pleading it sounded when he started talking about how we were the ones who really supported indie developers. And honestly, there was a lot more indie shit on the 360. It was a great fucking indie market at the 360.
Well, it wasn't... They still had to go through publishers, and a lot of them made no money because of that.
Like we got a lot of great indie games in the 360.
There we
go. Is kind of what I meant.
Their catalog of indie games was superb.
The ass fisting behind the scenes is
right.
There's a reason. What's The Witness is on the PS4.
What about that? The indie
Witcher,
marketplace.
That's another game. But
you're right.
What it really seems like their PR push right now is the stance they're in. Is they're going to try to remind people super hard how much fun they had with the 360 and how they were on top for a while.
Yeah, that seems like they're just... Okay, since we think that's all of the stuff we can remember. They showed off Battlefield 4 running at 60 frames per second.
That was great.
It was fucking
It'll
awesome.
be running even better on the PlayStation.
Yeah, it'll be
2 frames a second.
82. That's way better.
You heard it here first because no one else would bother saying it. GigaBoots.
Should we lie? Why?
Why not?
There's Microsoft in the room. Why not? Fucking the cloud. Three Xbox Ones. That's like an Xbox 3. Oh my god.
People who play video games don't read. Fucking tell them. I don't give a shit.
But yeah, it'll probably be playing on maximum settings on PS4 and probably won't hit that on the Xbox One. It might. They may be wizards over at DICE. Who knows? But yeah, Battlefield looked fucking amazing. He was shooting these cords that were holding the planes in place, and they were falling down on people.
That shit was awesome.
I'm like, yes, they understand it. I want the awesomeness of a plane, but the collateral damage of bad physics, like physics gone horrible.
Yeah.
And me being in charge of it.
I
shoot the rope to unleash the plane.
I need that much weight and inertia, but fuck all that piloting vehicle shit.
Yeah.
I don't understand, guys. It didn't have a dog. What was there to get excited about?
There was no member of the unit I cared
Nobody's
about.
hating
right?
on that dog.
Everybody's hating on the concept that drove putting that dog in the game. Which is, we need to give them a reason that's instantly apparent why this is different from last year's game.
I was hooked with the fish. Honestly,
Super Mario 64 is the best game ever.
I want to tattoo the fish and give it a rifle. Tropic Thunder.
It's just an angular.
Go, Royal Blue Tag, go!
Was there anything else we were going to talk about?
There was that other indie game that was actually from the guys who made Swords and Sorcery.
Swords and Sorcery.
Sorcery.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying it like that so they know,
The game that's like
that thing
really
made
zoomed
by
out?
Yeah,
way too zoomed out.
Yeah, see, it was on iPhone, and you want to see the whole level,
Right?
And that's why they designed Swords and Sorcery like that. But the new one on the Xbox One is equally, if not more so, zoomed out. It's crazy. Your
might be an
character's
artistic
like
choice
12
from
pixels.
the way it looked.
I mean, no one can scrutinize your fine details on animation if they can't see it.
Does equipping new equipment change by character model? I don't
Sure.
fucking know.
Yes.
Why not? Yes.
Why wouldn't it?
Why don't we tell them it works?
It's a cutscene. There's not even a game there. But you couldn't tell. You were just hitting buttons hoping for the best.
So about Gungrave.
So yeah, I really, basically. I really couldn't at all get engaged with that being a game on their platform because I couldn't, like, I didn't. Wasn't it just a bunch of running in that trailer, or did I miss something? It was like 12 pixel
I
characters.
call it walking.
There was some arrow shooting and a couple of slashes.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't see those.
That didn't really compel me very much. But I know Swords and Sorcery is fucking awesome.
They used a word
But I think it's graded on
I've
curve
been
because
heard
it's on the
bandied
iPhone.
about a lot, and I don't think it has a set definition right now.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Roguelike.
Roblox, so it has various attributes, and sure you can skip over a few.
So it's a bullshit term.
No, it's
Because
like
it seems
it's
like
like
people keep applying it to very different things.
idiots will do that, but there are like 8 to 12 different factors that make it a roguelike. Like it has to involve certain, like it has to be a multi-leveled blank, like tower, dungeon,
Yeah, I heard,
whatever.
like it's a dungeon crawl,
It can
randomly
be
generated.
Randomly generated is also a thing it might do. There's probably permadeath. Or something equivalent. For example, Azure Dreams on the PS1, you left the tower, you went back to level 1. You kept your equipment and your monster leveled up, but you didn't. That's why that game's hard as fucking hell.
Nice.
I became rich beyond my wildest dreams, but I didn't get past level like 15
So
or some
roguelike
shit.
is a term I can basically look for when I want an RPG to beat my ass.
Yes,
Nice.
exactly that.
I'm glad we have a term for that.
Yeah, I kind of wish... Never mind, I don't want... So it's time to piss off some intelligent people. I really don't like Binding of Isaac. I own
Yeah.
it. I wish it was a better roguelike. I understand why it's popular because roguelike died for like a decade. And then when he did it, he was like, hey, I did it. Now it's popular. So much like there was with Super Meat Boy, where everyone's like, we can make hard as balls platformers with wall jumping. Hooray! Now it's going to be, we can make roguelikes. Hooray!
I love that in the indie scene. Like, it's popular, and it's like they got permission to make a genre they like.
It's the same dude. So it's even more like, that guy did it, time to do it.
Oh, nice. So he's going to make a point-and-click adventure next, right? Because I need like a shit ton of those.
Well, see, we already have a shit ton of those, in a sense,
Well,
because
less
we
point-and-click adventures and more I want more missed games.
Well,
I demand.
Well, see, we got the braid guy making that.
Braid guy's
Yeah,
making
I'm so
that.
happy.
So we're good.
Yeah.
Okay, so tying it up, they announced the price, $4.99
yeah.
US dollars.
Nice long pause before the awkward applause.
We're talking like 7 seconds, 8 seconds. It was a really long moment of they don't know.
They aren't going to move on until we clap, are they?
Yeah, I'm sure that's how the journalists felt. Like, God damn it, guys, this isn't impressive.
Right? That's
You're releasing
that's
a
literally
product?
the high end of what people
Smile on his
estimated.
face. $4.99. No, man, you can't.
Wait, you have the most DRM'd up thing, and you can't even lower the price of your box? That's insane.
I know, right? Like, we're getting a cut of this, but it's an amazing $4.99 US dollars. Why aren't you clapping?
Quick, say TV some more.
DVD.
Sports.
Woo!
It's a pretty good
I
reenactment.
loved them heckling that guy during the Battlefield 4 before
yes.
it actually started playing.
Fucking yes, there was a technical difficulty. It just wouldn't start playing.
Merciless.
And then he's like, just standing on stage. Some guy's like heckling him, and he's like, yeah, well, yeah.
Also, Crimson Dragon having no sound.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
Crimson
was
Dragon, the
beautiful.
spiritual successor to Panzer Dragoon, made by the same guy who's in charge of that, has been moved from the 360 to the Xbox One.
I wonder if it still uses Kinect.
It looked like it.
It has to. It's on the Xbox One. It's not an option.
So
It's going in your ass.
that is horrifically disappointing because I hope to ever play that game.
Right?
And this isn't, yet again, this isn't a console wars thing. I'm planning on getting a 360 at some point in time. It'd be nice if that remodel they announced during this press conference was cheaper. Look, it's smaller and
I couldn't
I don't-
understand the point of that. Like, we made a 360 that looks like the Xbox One.
Are you crazy?
Why?
you people are insane, aren't you? Well, see if you get them both. Then they'll match. What?
No, wait. I think you might be on it. I remember when the Wii came out.
Uh-huh.
I had a theory that maybe enough of the higher ups in the Nintendo Corporation were literally crazy now, but it's Japan, so no one's gonna say anything, and they just keep letting them make decisions because it would be too shameful to shame them. Maybe Microsoft saw that, had the same idea I did, and thought, okay, if we let crazy people run our company, we will get shit tons of console sales.
Huh.
Okay,
all
I
makes
thought
sense.
it was going to be basically when you started that. I was like, yes, Kyle's almost there. Microsoft actually does kind of bully. Like they bully. They have the weird American analog to that honor system. So like when somebody above you said something and you say anything remotely negative, you're in the doghouse forever. And it's like harsher than most corporations, which is weird because like they aren't successful. So what level of quality are they holding up by being assholes to all their employees? Apple, they get by. They iPhone. There, I'm done. Done explaining. But yeah, so in any case, yeah, I don't know. Some dude was like, TV. I like TV. Everyone still likes TV, right? Yes.
It's
Woo!
This entire console generation for Microsoft, it seems pointless. I don't understand what they thought they were trying to do here.
They thought they were going to lead us into the future with the iPhone. Wait,
yeah,
someone
actually,
made that.
Who was that again?
I don't remember. It was probably Microsoft.
Okay, probably. In any case, the weirdest parts, like the weirdest parts are under the surface and not. Well, you know what? I can say in all confidence, no one other than us here at GigaBoots have talked about this, as we're about to. Microsoft has patents to have basically the iPhone model of like 2 years from now, an Xbox 2 comes out and it runs Xbox One games, and Xbox One games might run Xbox 2 games, but in a worse quality. And they maintain compatibility despite analog or completely different hardware. So the fact they've come to the market with underpowered hardware in the first place makes sense in that respect. Now, I kind of put this in the patents are patents. So why should it be that you and I...
No.
Okay,
No.
in any case. In any case. So I put that in that drawer that I won't say the name of.
Right.
I'm going into Mark Cerny mode.
Uh-huh.
Or Dr. Venture, I'm not sure.
That's...
But in any case, wait, it gets better. The 3OS thing, there's actually a huge chunk of virtualization going on with the games, which probably is why their development kit isn't as far along as Sony's. In fact, from some developers, we've heard that Sony has done a better job of incorporating their SDK for the PS4 into what the fuck is the name of
Visual
it?
Studios?
Visual Studio. Microsoft's own software than Microsoft. Because the virtualization is basically this abstraction layer between the Xbox OS and the hardware. And the reason for that is for that forward compatibility, pseudo backward compatibility, or backward compatibility, pseudo forward compatibility layer. They actually are going for the iPhone market.
That is...
They're going for their business model, I should say.
That is the exact kind of cheap shot political bullshit that Microsoft is amazing at. They're going to fake another console generation.
Yeah. They're just going to be like...
They're about to Sega it up and release 5 before the next guy releases 1.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, they're just... Cause they've always been pissed that, like, they were one numbered generation behind Sony. Oh my god. The bastards.
Well, see, here's the thing. They came to the market with better hardware than Sony 2 times. Xbox, boom, way better. Sony came out a year late. They should have been the Xbox to Microsoft's 360. You get what I mean? Like, the Xbox was that much better than the PS2. The PS3 should have been that much better than the 360, but Sony fucked up at several scales. Microsoft comes out with completely underpowered hardware this time with oddly cheap amount of RAM. Like people were pointing out, you have DDR3. Why isn't there 16 gigs in there? This shit's cheap, guys. And yeah, it's a high clock speed, but in any case, yeah, so they may have served up an underpowered console in order to have another console in 2 years. What they're going to find is that's going to kill all of their market.
Yeah, I mean, at $500, people
Yeah,
will
when
dish
the
that out
first
for a
one's
phone.
$500,
Yeah.
people aren't like we're Americans. We'll eat anything. We're not going to swallow this.
Yeah. Especially this market. They've come and applied business models of a completely different market to the gaming market. And they don't understand. That's not going to work.
Unless this thing, you know, they designed it to fail like the early 360s. So you've got to buy a new one, and for a slightly larger price.
The Red Ring of Death. People only came back to the 360 after that for one of two reasons, or both. One, the PS3 wasn't in a good position to go to for the first 2 or 3 years. Like, software fucking blew.
Yeah.
Two, it was covered under warranty. When both of these conveniently ended at about the same time, there were a lot of people who came to the PS3 after their third Red Ring of Death. If the Xbox One Red Rings, I honestly don't believe any more than 10%, 5% are going back. They'll be so fucking... Like, imagine the PS3 Red Ringed at year 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would not be...
Because the Xbox One is, like, this is so Sony, 2006, 2005. Like, the hubris
It is
tangible.
weird watching that conversion.
It's sick. Like, every advantage that Microsoft had with the 360, now the PS4 has. And they're using it better, too. Like, you were talking about the better indie game catalog. Like, they're actually courting indie game devs. Microsoft didn't even do that, and they had a better category because they had an easier design for a platform.
Yeah.
What happens now?
It's going to be interesting.
And on that note, we're going to take a short break and move on to another conference. Any closing comments?
I always knew that the Xbox One's hardware and implementation was morally reprehensible. I didn't expect it to actually be handled this retardedly on a company-wide scale.
All I can say is at least the name now makes sense. Makes it easy to know what Xbox 2 was. No comments, Bob?
No, I guess not.
Okay. Taking a break. Moving on. So we forgot a couple of things about the Microsoft thing, so we're going to cover that real quick.
Halo
5.
Halo the Halo.
Had the most ridiculous, like, always to the east, fucking Diablo-esque CG of rag person covered in shit walking through a desert, and then Bob's like, it's Master Chief. And I know he was being sarcastic, like, that would be the stupidest thing. And then it was that. And that's how that went. His sleeve came up and you saw the fucking Spartan armor, and it was dumb. It was really dumb.
It wasn't that dumb.
How did that connect to the Halo 4?
Exactly why it was dumb.
Wasn't there a bird monster?
No, there was a plant monster, and that was 2.
No.
4 had
Connect to 4.
The dub wave race.
No, I was thinking of this trailer that had the giant metal bird.
Oh, yeah, that looked like some new Fourbringer monster, I guess.
Yeah.
Every time I hear Fourbringer, I think of Fullbringers, and
ooh, that's not a place I want to
immediately,
go.
like, my mind just U-turns away from thinking about Halo. But it's okay. I don't have to think about Halo because we have Destiny.
Right? I mean,
I stopped playing Call of Duty at Modern Warfare 2. I'm done playing Halo now that it's
seeing
not
what happened
Bungie.
was 4.
4 was terrible fan fiction. But in any case, they announced it was going to run at 60 frames per second, and that was the woo, which that's going to be embarrassing from the perspective of it's going to be running at 60 frames per second on the Xbox One. Imagine what things running at 30 or even 60 on the PS4 are going to look like, because it's that much more powerful. But there was something else we didn't mention from this conference, because there were 2 things we needed to mention. Anybody remember?
Yeah, that was it sounds like Microsoft's going to have just Forza at launch for what they've actually made.
Yeah, the Microsoft Game Studios is only producing 1 title for their own launch.
And it seems like they keep assuring us that there are many studios that they have working on titles. So it's like, maybe this should have been planned better, more like having more than one game out.
I'm not sure that they know that they have to actually keep trying. Like
here's
this is the thing you have to re-up for every
like
year.
they as we were talking about,
they're still in that Connect mode for the last 3 years. They don't know what to do anymore.
They have the hubris of Sony at the height of PS2, which sold.
Damn, that was hubris.
Yeah. If anyone has hubris, it's the Japanese who won their blood vengeance war.
Yeah.
Against Nintendo, and anyone else that looked like them.
Got in the way, was related to them.
Or stood nearby.
Was once seen in a photograph near them.
They honestly think they get to roll in this time, not try nearly as hard as they did with the 360. Like, they invested... Like, this has always been their strategy, and they mentioned it. In fact, some of that Japanese developer who made Folklore crumpled because of this strategy, which is the concept that you invest super heavily for the first 2 phases, and then the third phase, you profit. We're hitting profit, and they actually said... a good while back, that was their strategy. Like, they're going to try so hard. Like, they invested shitloads on the Xbox, and they're doubling down and investing insane amounts more on the 360 and doing all this crazy stuff and building a console that kills itself really, really fast and scratches discs. Mm-hmm. And now's the time to reap what they sowed.
Huh.
So, yeah, I'm not surprised that their whole thing, like, they didn't prepare launch setup-wise. They have Forza. I mean, they had like 3 games at the fucking 360 launch, at least. They had Cameo, they had Perfect Dark Zero, and something else, I'm positive. Microsoft produced another game.
Right.
And that was the 360. they've had time to build up and really collaborate better with other people to make games
I think
for
that
them.
Fantasia might be first party. They might have bought those guys from.
They didn't buy Harmonix.
They didn't? Okay.
No, that would be important to me. Not that it matters. Rock Band's dead, and they're never going to have street cred ever again.
That is an interesting perspective company-wide that, really, when you look, Microsoft isn't this bad. They're just phoning this in.
Yeah. Which seems to be, they think they have the clout to do whatever they want, which they sorely realize by now, maybe. They don't.
No.
Windows 8 is a fucking failure compared to Windows.
We can't reach them where they are.
Yeah, I had the theory of they are just so far gone that they won't see anything.
We will have to send rescue teams with dogs up their asses to find them.
Not until they launch and completely fail.
And the best part is they're already blaming us for this.
Yeah, they're already blaming us. Interview with Don Matrick with Jeff Keighley was amazing. How exactly did the phrasing go? It was beautiful. They were like, there's a shitstorm, but you're making it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're dragging you into the future. Something like that.
This is like the using only
We're
Ethernet.
afraid of change, and that's why your console's a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's
Good job.
That's
fucktard.
That's what their messaging has become.
I
We're
thought
dragging you into the future, and you're scared of change.
My favorite one was, we already have a console for people who don't want to have an internet connection. It's called the 360.
And they said it in all earnesty.
Yeah.
It was just like, we already made that console. It's the Xbox 360. It'll be good forever. Why do better? If you can't have an internet connection, you don't deserve our next console. And we don't care about you. So about
Sony had the dignity to try and convince us that their console was a great idea.
Right.
And not get mad at us for not agreeing with them.
Working 2 jobs to afford your PlayStation 3.
Other than that,
So, in any case,
I guess.
like Sony spent since 2007. Yeah, 2007, 2008, late 2007, super late 2007, they realized they already fucked up. And they started working on the PS4. Mark Cerny started designing it in late 07, late 08. And they've just been preparing this, let's get all these indies and let's make these awesome games to all these franchises we've established. Let's get all these developers. We have 20 games in development for the first year for our console.
Yeah.
And Microsoft on launch day has 1 game actually made by them and a bot one called Rise from Crytek, which is... Actually, I don't know that that's launch.
I guess I didn't say. Yeah.
Maybe... Whatever.
But yeah, so might be launched.
So it is a free to play game that looks cheap as shit. So
Right.
probably. Yeah, so that's what we forgot to mention about the Microsoft one. Now, we're going to combine Ubisoft, EA, and Nintendo into one category, which we're going to cover roughly because we are not nearly as interested in these 3 conferences as we are Sony's as a discussion topic for this podcast. I'm a Pokemon whore, so don't get pissed. By the way, I call it Pokemon because the trailers now call it Pokemon, and I think it's fucking ironically hilarious to call it Pokemon.
Oh, that's season 1, Pokemon.
Yeah, I love Mario. I play Mario and Pokemon. Fucking playing Luigi's Mansion over here.
So, what was it? Ubisoft had an Assassin's Creed trailer. I wish I still cared about Assassin's Creed. I really do.
Yeah, me too. They showed off Watch Dogs.
Right.
They showed off... Well, actually, that was Sony's. That was Sony's
I think
conference.
Ubisoft had one too, didn't they?
They showed off The Division.
Oh, God.
Yeah, the Division would definitely
Such
be
a
your
voter
take
for the Division.
I know, right?
It has Tom Clancy, but what the heck? How do you make something good?
That whole video, they kept putting up words on screen. I'm like, is that the title? Is that the title? You fucking tell me what this game is.
Yeah, they had a good bit of building up for this game, universe-wise, as they were about to unveil it. Much in the style that Infamous Second Son was built up towards for the PlayStation 4 unveil months ago.
In the Watch Dogs last year.
Yeah. Like that same level. So they keep building the universe, keep talking, show videos, more infographics, keep talking. And they keep going, and I'm just like, I don't care. And then they start showing gameplay, and I'm like, I care immensely.
Yeah. This HUD's weird. 5 seconds later, this HUD's amazing.
Shoots a dude, numbers come out. It's an RPG. Oh, fuck.
Oh, God, that game's sexy.
Yeah, it's so damn amazing. You get to shoot dudes, call in turrets,
rolling, bouncing Bettys, just the integration with the HUD, the technology that's on your character and how it interacts with the world. It's smooth and sexy as shit.
And my favorite part is that the tablet gameplay has a point. So you can sit at work, join your squad on the Division via flying turret, and just pretend you're working.
This generation of programmers, because of the smart glass push, will learn to game with their toes.
Yep.
L2 toe game, new.
Yep. Learn to toe. So what else did Ubisoft show off? They showed off that Rayman Legends is still coming. They showed off that Splinter Cell is still coming.
They
had a
Rabbids
giant
television show.
Oh God! Wow.
Yeah,
What was up?
a Connect Xbox One exclusive show
whatever
thing.
They had that woman from last year.
They had the giant black woman from last year, and the amazing thing here is someone's going to be like, "What's with the way you say black? You sound racist."
It's just a regional thing.
Whoa! Don't blame the whole South.
I want to put this out in front. We are going to call her that giant black woman, but we don't dislike her as a presenter because she's giant, or because she's black, or because she's a woman.
Nor do we hate her because she's all of these things combined.
She is an obnoxious, unfunny douche nozzle who really needs to stop being put in front of a camera.
The amazing thing is, last year she was the straight man, but in this case, frigid bitch, for Tobuscus, who was the jokester. But this year, Tobuscus wasn't back, and she played both. Like, the script just made her keep making jokes.
And then shoot herself down. It was
fucking weird.
I did find it authentically adorable how they kept putting out all these tiny Frenchmen next to her. She's in, like, 5-inch stilettos.
Yeah. Which, when you're that huge, holy shit, what do you... I shall grow tall as the trees.
Ubisoft have anything else?
You notice she also speaks in a similar manner to Mr. Caffeine. She's like, yeah, I just did that. Which is exactly what Mr. Caffeine did.
Clap for that.
Yeah, clap for that.
Yeah,
clap.
egging on the
Clap.
Giant
black woman demands it.
What else was there? I could have sworn there was one more, but
Is she a Spartan?
No, they don't allow heels. Well, shit, then what did he have?
Okay, we're moving on to EA. Battlefield 4 had a fucking 64-player multiplayer match with Commander mode that was played via tablet where you could send in fucking missile strikes while your different squads, because squads are in Battlefield and fucking great when it works because you can spawn on them, start taking a capture point, which is a fucking 50-story tall building, like this huge fucking building. Absolutely massive. They work their way to the top, they hop in the elevator, they gun their way out, chopper comes up, they blow the shit out of that chopper, they take the building, and the whole thing is demolitioned. It is blown up as they parachute off. Like, they parachute off, turn around, the whole thing comes down and crushes some people underneath it in a multiplayer match. Fuck yeah!
Now, I'd like to interject right here to make note of something. To clarify for the future, every time we... our coverage of, like, smart glass and tablets and shit might seem a little bipolar. Because we talk about, using the tablet to call in a missile strike in commander mode. That's fucking awesome. And like 20 minutes ago, we were like, oh man, using your smartphone to call in a missile strike in Dead Rising is gay as shit. It's really this kind of shit, like all kind of peripheral implementation, it's all about how it's done.
Right, it's context. And Dead Rising isn't a game about that. That's completely absurd.
This is what we call the shoehorn.
Fucking,
Ask grandparents what that is.
Basically what, indeed... This is basically natural selections dichotomy of the strategist and the first-person shooter player. Resource management, stuff like that, only they've turned it into the tablet metagame.
Maybe we should take another shot at MAG.
I'm going to be honest, I spent most of E3 thinking that. Like, wow, we could have done MAG well on this hardware.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're dead now.
With all this persistent world shit, we're going to get it.
Yeah, eventually. I mean, Plant Side 2's
Plant Side.
Plant Side.
Okay.
EA also showed off Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, which was a MOBA shooter.
Or possibly a tower defense shooter.
Interesting.
Or both.
I don't think it was tower defense, because you weren't just setting up structures. Well,
right,
it was kind of, it was kind of like...
you were fighting waves.
What was the name of that one game?
Sanctum.
Sanctum. Yeah, it was kind of Sanctum-y, where it was a shooter and you got to set up things to shoot things.
Nice.
And you dealt with waves. Like, they were called waves.
Love point defense. Love it.
Yeah. So that was cool.
Then of
I know our
course-
friend Hippo, really excited about that. Or maybe, no wait, he's excited about Plants vs. Zombies 2, he said. I don't know why you, whatever. Never mind. I rescind that statement. It did
Hippo
not
is not
happen.
our friend.
Hippo is not our friend. He eats all the goddamn cake.
I think the biggest announcement was at the very end.
What was the biggest announcement?
Mirror's Edge 2.
Mirror's Edge 2. It was all
yes.
like...
When that game is done in 5 years, I'll be happy.
Like, what do you guys like said? Mirror's Edge. Like, yeah, Dan was on the phone with you. Like, oh, Mirror's Edge 2. I was just sitting there thinking, wait, people besides me bought Mirror's Edge 1? What?
Maybe the PC release was successful.
I just remember people
Probably.
bitching like, oh, Mirror's Edge controls like shit. I'm like, maybe you have palsy.
I remember
Yeah,
Cliff
Then I thought that's
Bazinski
a mean
making
thing
fun
to
of.
say.
Did he?
Yeah.
Cliffy B did that?
Yes, he insulted it, and then years later he said, "Oh, it wasn't a shooter. I guess it's good as a platformer."
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
bad.
Well, didn't Yahtzee also think that game controlled like retardedly?
Yeah.
Because it was like if you took Mario and strapped the camera to the front of his face. I was like,
people kept making a blanket statement. You can't make a first-person platformer. I'm like,
I know
clearly you
they
can.
did, and it's good. You just need a better sense of where your feet are, which there are a lot of people who can't get certain aspects of being in a game.
Yeah, it's always fun. Watch your friends play first-person shooters and pick out which ones can actually jump.
Right? Those that can figure out, like, spatially, what's going on with their body. Figuring out what's going on with your body. An instructional video and winning at Halo.
Are you there, God? It's me, Faith.
Okay, so yeah, that was awesome. Anything else from EA, guys?
Lots of sports titles. FIFA looked hilarious.
FIFA, that was absolutely delightful. Would you like to tell them?
Sure. We were getting lots of slow-mo zoom-ins on soccer players as they did their thing. Soccering. And every time they moved their legs, instead of the actual closing moving around them like you might expect of the next gen.
Physically forming wrinkles.
Yes, there are textured wrinkles that appeared and disappeared, like slowly faded in and out of existence.
Of existence based on how their legs were bent. It was the creepiest, weirdest thing. And they played it in slow-mo.
Repeatedly.
Nice.
And I was just like, this doesn't look good now. A minute later, it really didn't look good.
Beautiful.
That was it.
That was it. Okay, on to Nintendo.
They're making a Pokemon.
They're making Pokemon.
Pokemon.
I got to see more Bayonetta 2 trailers, so it's
Yep.
probably best thing at
Bayonetta
E3.
2, everybody's pissed that it's on the Wii U.
Yep.
Like, everybody's pissed that it's on the Wii U.
Super Mario 3D World was announced, which is Super Mario 3D Land, but 4-player. They combined Mario 2 and that and made it 4-player. We good?
Yeah, that sounded
Yep.
cool.
Oh yeah, Cat Suit Mario.
Yep.
Totally
He
down.
can climb up walls.
Which seems like a cool power for 3D Mario.
Oh yeah, it works out pretty well from what I've seen. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, same thing with Super Mario 2. They each have their own abilities. Luigi jumps higher, Princess Peach floats, Toad hauls ass, and Mario is average.
Now, I've seen pictures on the internet of Princess Peach in a cat suit, but I think this is going to be slightly different.
Moving on.
They also showed a trailer for the Wonderful 101. It was wonderful.
Indeed.
So Smash.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mega Man.
Pop-Tarts, you too.
It's a
Mega
Mega Man
Man.
fighting, like, oh
Mega
god.
Man's in it. Mega Man's in it.
That fucking Mega Man
Mega Man's
trailer
in it.
was amazing.
It was.
Also, I totally love the fact that Wii Fit Chick is in it. I am so down for that.
That is hilarious. And seeing Animal Crossing guy in there
Yeah.
too, that's...
Totally terrified that I think at this point we're thinking his final smash is the summoning
It's
of Mr. Rossetti.
Yeah.
It almost has to be. There's nothing else as scary as
like
that.
maybe if you kill him, Mr. Rossetti comes for revenge.
Well, mainly just money.
He
Your
didn't
money.
save.
You can't quit any of the matches. That player's in.
I really love how Mega Man is little kid Mega Man, and not like he's not X. He's not strangely tall proportioned. He's little NES Mega Man. Love that shit.
And I would have loved Mega Man X in there too, but original Mega Man's awesome.
If we're gonna put Mega Man X in a Smash game, it better just goddamn be Zero.
I've gotten that sentiment from a lot of people, and I think it has a lot to do with his Bishonen factor.
I really like Zero. I'm a big Zero fan, but when Zero showed up in Marvel's Capcom 3, that wasn't as good for me as if Mega Man X had shown up. I don't know.
It's probably because you're a pussy, and Zero's clearly the better character ever.
They showed off the game running for the 3DS and the Wii U. The Wii U has the usual style for Smash Bros, and the 3DS version is slightly cel-shaded.
I was really surprised to see
with black borders.
Yeah. I was surprised to see that Link is just looks like he's still Twilight Princess Link.
Yeah, that is also an interesting choice.
There was one more Nintendo game they showed.
Real quick, let me distill this.
Yeah.
So they're making another Smash. It's on the portable and the Wii U, and they added Mega Man.
Right.
And that's about all they changed. Mega Man's in it. This is Nintendo. You pretty much can cover any Nintendo thing with this voice and this level of
they made another one.
They made another Super Mario 3D Land, but they changed the word land to world, and it's 4-player. And people like Mario too, so it's that too. Yeah.
Really did like Mario too.
They made another Link to the Past.
Oh yeah, they made like a sequel to it?
Yeah, it is a sequel.
Yeah.
Which is why it's another, not the same one. They made the same Wind Waker.
Nintendo, no longer satisfied with iterating their characters, iterates the iterations. The Zelda timeline is now completely incomprehensible.
It is fractal.
Don't look directly into the timeline.
Possibility 1. This book is nothing but possibilities.
Sluice Gate 2.
What else?
There's a Donkey Kong.
They made another Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Okay.
It's on the Wii U.
Yeah.
Trixie's in it.
Like the pony?
Sure.
Dude.
Yeah.
Great and powerful Donkey Kong Country. Hell yeah.
It was, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't look at me like that. You'd play it.
That looks like they actually have 2-player mode.
Yep.
That's nice.
Yeah.
You get to choose which one you want, Trixie or
Donkey Kong.
Or Diddy Kong.
Or Diddy. Yeah.
And they each have a different thing that they help him do. Like they have different movement methods.
Yeah, and that's what RetroWare's been working, or Retro Studios has been working on, and the camera now moves around when you jump in a barrel. It sort of just moves around to show you jumping in a barrel.
Right.
They made another Pokemon. They added a new type. There are more Pokemon. Okay, I can't fake not being excited. Okay, yeah, there's a fairy type. The 18th type is fairy, and it's super effective against dragons. We finally nerfed dragons. It took 5 fucking gens. God, 2nd gen tried so hard. It was like, we'll add these types, and maybe that will cause it to... Nope, still dragons.
Yep.
Dragons all the way down.
Lance is on top.
Well, time for Clefable to come out to rape some dragons, now that it's a fairy type, most likely.
Go on, Dino.
God, no. Yeah, it was always...
For some reason, Dragonite and Dragonair are both subtype fairy.
Dragon fairy. Shit gets weird.
Oh.
Fairy Dragon was a thing in World of Warcraft. They were very resistant to magic, and I hated them.
Noted. You can seemingly walk in 8 directions.
Yeah, I saw the diagonals going on.
Yeah, so that's either the camera doing something crazy, or you can just walk in diagonals.
All I think this means is that they're going to put trainers facing in diagonal directions now.
Oh.
Those fuckers. Trainers now look in 8 directions. Have fun timing the walk around, you bitch.
You bitch. Nintendo announce anything else? Nintendo show off anything else?
They talked about Pikmin a little bit more.
They talked about Yoshi a little bit more.
A little bit.
Why isn't Pikmin out?
I don't know. They're making their opus or something.
This is exactly what I was talking about. Like, before the Wii U came out, I'm like, oh. Like, when they showed off at E3 last year, I was like, oh, shit. Nintendo really isn't ready for this scale of production. And they aren't. They aren't showing us a Zelda this year to come out next year or the year after. it's gonna be a while.
Yeah, it will.
Which is why they're like, here's Wind Waker, please leave us alone. We're making a Zelda game. We promise. Eiji Onuma kills himself. He's like, it was already hard enough on Wii. Wii U's insane. Leaps out window. I love Mother.
God damn it.
In any case, I think that's everything we covered.
Yep.
They're about.
Okay, so we're gonna take another short break because we can. You can't make us not take a break. And then we'll be back to talk about Sony. And they get their own segment because... And we're back from our break. Now it's time to talk about the Sony conference, which basically can be summarized as... Eek! Like, no, really, that's basically what happened at the end of it. They were almost taken away by the crowd. But, let's take things from the beginning. It's all a blur. Somebody help me through this.
The beginning was kind of a blur.
Yeah, it was a real slow start.
One of Sony's trademark sizzle videos.
Like, I don't know. It wasn't really... Like, there was the sizzle video, right? It wasn't really that slow of a start because they, like, within 20 minutes, they were like, we have many great titles coming out this year for the PlayStation 3. And they're like, boom, boom,
Yeah, the
boom.
rapid-fire nature
They
of it.
literally would finish one video showing off a game, and the second one would fade in before the first one stopped. Like, the audio would start going out, and then the next one would start
It was
coming
amazing.
in, and boom.
It is exactly the format for an E3 conference people always bitch that they never did.
Right.
Game.
And they're
game,
still, like,
game,
the only
game.
people doing that, admittedly, because they're the EA of first parties.
Now, early on, there was that really, really horrible, awkward dude from Sony Pictures.
Yeah, that was the slow.
Yeah, that was about a third into it, though. That was actually pretty substantially into it, and I think that was
'cause
after
they did, like the Vita
PS3
stuff, the
games.
PS3 stuff, then that,
And then that.
Then they pushed on to
And,
PS4.
Like, Ben Kuchar is a shitbag. In his coverage of this, he said that they were making vague promises about music and video. I don't think Ben Kuchera knows what Video Unlimited and Music Unlimited is, so he just sounds like a jackass when he says that dude made vague promises.
Yeah,
he
I
said
have,
there
I have
were
a policy about reading anything about Sony from anything to do with Penny Arcade.
anything to do with Penny Arcade. God, you really need to
Yeah,
see
I
that.
worry about what their Wednesday post is going
I
to be.
imagine
It's
they
going
don't
to be.
come here for Microsoft coverage, but still.
Well, I see that's the thing.
I openly hate Microsoft, but I don't openly lie about them.
Right. See, that's the thing. If they showed off great games at their conference, I don't think we'd be like, but who cares?
They did show off great games at their conference.
Right. Which is why you two have a boner for Titanfall.
Total boner.
Because they showed great games. Titanfall's still shit. Fuck you.
And a great car.
What?
And a great car.
And they did show a great car.
McLaren
Apparently,
P1.
that
If
was
this were a conference...
Now, if any of us knew what that car was, that
It was a McLaren P1. There are like two of them.
if any of the rest of us...
Yes, if the rest of us knew what that was, then that would have been
Especially
amazing.
when it happened.
If anyone in the audience knew what it was.
Right, you think we were
Then there would have been
lift one
problems.
That was
cheer.
like my first reaction of, you're wasting it!
So yeah. Basically, they said Music Unlimited was going to be a service on it, and then Video Unlimited as a concept was going to come to it.
Yeah, I
which,
was really worried about his whole spiel. There were a lot of keywords that I didn't like. Like, we're working on content tailored to gamers.
Well,
Yeah,
see, that
that
was
was-
another segment of it too. Like the Video Unlimited, Music Unlimited
yeah,
is its
like,
own
this
thing.
will be on it, this will be on
but,
it, this will be on it.
But yeah, they're basically making more content a la the Tester and that one other thing that Sony made. Because after they made the Tester, they made like a single one-off thing. And I forget what it was, but I didn't care.
He also said for the video services, they were like curating or cultivating a list of things that gamers would like, and then he listed a bunch of weird anachronistic things. Like I think he said like Breaking Bad, and well that was later, and then he said he actually name dropped Resident Evil movie.
He was like, we know that you guys like movies. Such as, and yeah, Resident Evil was one of the things in there. There were quite a few.
It was weird.
Sony owns Resident
Yeah.
Evil movie, the live action version, so that's why.
It was like gamers
right?
like Daft Punk and Nine Inch Nails.
There was
Like,
another
I
band
imagine
that.
some dude, Jack White. You said?
Yeah, Jack White.
I don't even know who that is. Is that the guy from the White Stripes?
From the White Stripes,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know
it was
the White Stripes.
just like, yeah, I remember when they made that one song that was popular 4 years ago. That was their highest amount of relevance in that time.
So yeah, that was the big awkward part of the conference.
So, it was a 2-hour conference. I would say all of that awkwardness was done by about 40 minutes in, 50 minutes in.
Because right after that, Trenton came back out, and then the
he
video
took off
started.
the gloves. So what they show off first, even?
I think that they went right into the
Sizzle?
that new thing they had from Cambridge, not Cambridge.
Ready at Dawn and Sony Santa Monica are
The Order
making the Order
1866.
1866.
1866.
1866, and they stressed this is all in engine, this is all in game.
We literally know next to nothing about this. It's steampunk England. They're in Whitechapel. Something about like humanity has a long-standing war against something. Everybody's crying werewolf, but
we don't know yet.
Yeah,
they haven't announced it.
And I think that they did announce it as a third-person shooter. I think that was mentioned next day.
Yeah, I think that's what they said. A third-person shooter that's like an adventure game or an action game. Yeah, an action shooter, whatever. In any case, Uncharted.
Before all that happened, they were talking about how like we have a shit ton of Vita titles coming out. Like we're done making the PS4. We can actually start focusing on the Vita now. Then a couple more things that were coming to the PS3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So yeah,
so yeah.
The Last of Us.
The order happened.
Now to be because most people don't know, Ready at Dawn's the motherfuckers who, and I mean, this studio was made by industry legends. They were just fucking tired of working for huge.
Isn't Ready at Dawn like a couple guys from Naughty Dog and a couple guys from Blizzard?
Yeah. And a couple of guys from Insomniac. It was like a couple guys from
holy
like
shit. That's a Voltron.
And then they just fucking made the God of Wars on the PSP, which were fucking excellent. Konami would suck so many dicks to get their portable installment of Castlevania anywhere near that caliber. And then they ported that to the PS3 because they could and more money for them. So they did that, and they've been working on the Order 1866 for the last 2 years, 2.5 years, just on the game alone. It sounds like they, pre-production-wise, concept-wise, they've been doing this for like 8 years.
Yeah, it's one of those projects you kick around forever.
Yeah, they like had it at first, and I guess they pitched it, but whatever.
Right, those projects are always a little worrying just because it's too human. But I don't think anybody's going to do that.
You get that pet project, and sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's like, dude, you need to get your own dick out of your mouth.
Yeah, especially in Hollywood. It's especially that second part.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's an amazing team. I cannot wait.
Yeah, Ready, Dawn, and Santa Monica.
It's a fucking winning combination.
Right.
You throw in Naughty Dog, and we're done. That game won the console wars. More copies of that game have been bought than there are sold PS4s.
Why does the PS4 have a 500% attachment rate?
Of this game.
Okay, what was after the Order?
What was after the Order? It's all in blue.
Shit started hitting.
I can't remember if they went straight for the Square Enix or if they went to the DRM.
I think Watch Dogs was in there.
DRM was last.
Yeah, DRM was last. So
it was the last thing.
They did the Watch Dogs demo.
Yeah, so they showed off Assassin's Creed first.
Right.
Right before Assassin's Creed was Square Enix. So I remember, man, that's a really big step down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because that was everybody just did take a moment.
Square Enix comes out, announces Final Fantasy Versus 13. They do it at the end of the video. Is Final Fantasy 15? Thank God.
Because he's out there like, so Versus 13. Shit. This isn't what we heard.
Yeah, and then the trailer plays.
Full logo and everything.
Then it chases it at the end, and it was fucking awesome. And they did a good job with that. That game is now a PS4 game and probably in an Xbox One as well. It is so fucking insane for it.
Yeah, it looks amazing. What I loved about the whole Square Enix thing was like, hey, we're doing this, and the Versus 13 has become 15. Yeah, it was a great announcement. 15, all right, bye guys. Oh, also, by the way,
we have this thing, and then they just start showing Kingdom Hearts, like the different Kingdom Hearts games, and you're like, oh yeah, that's right. Everyone's like, oh my god, Kingdom Hearts 3, and I'm like, yeah, no. I can't let myself get that excited. It will break my heart when they say it's HD Rebirth or whatever, HD Remix.
And then the rainbow came out from behind the cloud.
And that was the day my girlfriend handed me $100 and said, the PS4, you're getting me one. You go and pre-order that shit tomorrow morning.
Seriously, like if the Kingdom Hearts logo comes up and there's no breathing in the room, and then a 3.
Yeah.
Fangirls literally weeping.
It was fucking crazy. Fangirls with names like Amanda, Tosh, and Joe. And no, it's not short for Joanna. Short for Joseph.
Welcome to the fold, motherfucker.
But yeah, it was fucking crazy. Everyone in the room was so super psyched, and then Assassin's Creed 4 came out to poop on her chests.
Honestly, Assassin's Creed 4 was the breathing room I needed. It's like, okay, doing a pirate game? All right, okay.
Sony was really good at pacing.
Yeah, that was...
They paced this really well. They were like, boom, boom, boom. Like, there was an up note, and then a down note, and then an up note. Like,
this is a really well-handled conference.
This conference
that Sony put on.
Sony had a 3-act structure to this conference.
That's the weirdest part.
The
whole conference had a narrative. Oh,
I would not be surprised if they had their marketing team come in with them and figure this out. So they show off Assassin's Creed 4, and it's Assassin's Creed 3, but even
like
more
it stops
piratey.
Working at the end.
Yeah, it stopped
And it
working
starts
a lot
freezing.
during
It's
it.
so close. Like, yeah, it stuttered a whole lot, but then like
It would
they're
just
about
stop.
to do the epic pull out to the title, and it fucks up.
Yeah. It just freezes completely for the third and final
Like,
time.
wow, it's like playing 1. Awesome.
That's great.
They still
I
haven't
remember the
knocked
first
this
time it
out.
happened, and I'm like, this is really pretty. I kind of don't want to reset my system.
So then, did you guys ever have the glitch with one where it just wouldn't finish loading, so you spent forever wandering through?
Yeah,
the
of course. That
abyss?
was one of the most
God.
common glitches.
I actually never encountered that
Wow.
one. I just got the one where I'm like stuck in a building and like all the physics are still going on. So I've got this great like wallpaper view. Like I want to loop that shit.
What else? Well, right after that, I think right after that, they showed off a Watch Dogs.
Yeah, I think they went right into that because they
And
just
Watch
had
Dogs-
Ubisoft out for it.
Watch Dogs was pretty neat. It was a lot better than Assassin's Creed 4, but it's not as cool as I think people were hoping for. It's really goddamn neat, and it looks like a
think
fun
Watch
game.
I think Watch Dogs is going to be a game that they're not showing the craziest parts of.
Yeah?
Like, because I've been hearing all that they're showing us are optional side missions. I think Watch Dogs is going to be a game that really just sort of ramps up its implementation. It's one of those games like the Elder Scrolls games, where it's hard to show off. Your playthrough of it is the important thing. How you experience that world and the choices you make.
Yeah.
I think that what they did with this one was they actually showed us more of what the cell phone hacking can be used gameplay-wise for sneaking that guy out and going between all the different devices and affecting them.
And then the car
Whereas,
alarms and the things like that.
Right,
Like,
the
there
car-
was a lot of stuff.
was before we just saw, he can affect traffic light. That's kind of nifty. We didn't
And
see
he
like
can
a
stop.
lot of things like
You can
back
pop
to
up
back.
the stopping
And again,
barricades.
I think this one had interesting tablet implementation.
I can't remember what
Like
it did.
I think he shut down the whole power grid with it. Like the helicopter showed up, shit started getting real, and like the tablet comes out on one of the smaller screens on the stage.
Yeah.
I think he started fucking with the power grid, and he did something to fuck up the helicopter. I don't remember what it was.
Me neither.
Like I think he blew a transformer right next to it. Just overloaded that bitch, and it popped.
Now, see, it is very possible they're just showing us the tip of the iceberg because Assassin's Creed, nobody knew even part of it was in the future, and this was all DNA prehistory before the game came out and people threw it in for the first
I
time.
remember, like, you guys got it before me. And they're like, oh, yeah, I got it. Go home and play it. I turned it on and, like, boot up. The fuck is this?
Right? I love those moments.
Now,
So then,
was Second Son after Watch Dogs?
Infamous, I believe that was just part of a sizzle.
Yeah, it was just part of a sizzle because they already showed it at the other
Oh, yeah.
con.
Yeah,
It was
and they just have the most awesome move where he explodes his arm into
Nuke.
jets, spins wildly, becomes like 3 parts that reconnect, and then he does like a smug ass smile as he somersaults in midair and then nukes the ground.
So cool.
And it was all in game. Mm-hmm. It is so pretty.
Yeah, and you haven't looked up the gameplay trailer for that. Go do that.
Yeah.
Just do it now.
Go do
Infamous was
that.
one of the most fun goddamn games on the PS3. This game's gonna be awesome.
This game is going to be awesome. It comes out first quarter 2014 was what they announced.
That's something we said them bring out all of the indies.
Oh fuck
God,
yeah.
that buffet.
They're like, now PlayStation 4 is not just a good platform for blockbusters, it's a great platform for indies, and we make it a very programmable, very powerful platform. And to show this, we have a lot of games to show you, such as, and they list off 8 fucking games, one after another, and they get to Octodad, and they're like, and we put them on stage because they thought we wouldn't. Octodad!
Like, we sent them a dev kit, and then 2 weeks later, they sent us back this. Fucking Octodad. Oh my god, the guys who made Bastion made another game.
Yes! Transistor
Actually had great
From what I
cast of it
saw
out
the
there.
gameplay and what I remember of Bastion, I've got a super boner for these people. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I really want to play Don't Starve. I've seen a little gameplay of
Yeah.
it. That looks really fun.
Tosh loves it. My coworker loves that game. Don't Starve is really fucking cool.
Shit. Silent Ponchos?
Meh?
It was like...
that was the thing made by the
old
sequel.
spaghetti Western fighting
Yeah.
shooter game.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
thing.
It was like it looked sort of like it might have
know
been a
much about
twin
it.
stick shooter, but like with gun dueling.
Then there was
Yeah.
fucking like
There was
Contra
a-
Slug made by the guys who did
the Scott Pilgrim,
yes.
Right? Oh.
And then there was oh man, what was that other one? There were so
Oddworld.
many. There were so many. Yeah, there was that.
Yeah, Oddworld remake.
Yeah. Oh my god. And then like the great thing is like they're putting all these on the direct feed when you're watching it when you're watching the stream. Then after they're done, it pulls out to the auditorium camera and they're just all on stage still playing these games. It's a goddamn beautiful indie buffet. And just Jack Tretton comes out later and is like, "Oh my god, we're so awesome."
Now,
Yeah.
PlayStation 4 isn't just about being awesome. It's about being awesome. Got a lot of value to offer you on our awesome.
Yeah. They're like, all
many
these guys are
minutes?
making games on the PS4. You can self-publish on the PS4. Everything's cool.
Now, the best part is that segment actually opened with Jack Tretton basically doing it's not just about blockbusters, it's about indie games. And we've got quite a few. And then he did that, and then he's like, but it's not just about indie games, it's about blockbusters. And then they went right back into more AAA games.
Yeah, it was the great. Like, you'd come up for air, and then they'd be like, nope. Trailer.
Yeah, fucking they showed trailers for Drive Club, Killzone. Killzone looks so much cooler than the last showing. I was already so psyched because the artistic direction is better than it has ever been with
Yeah.
Killzone.
Yeah,
Like,
skip the walk up. Just do the shooting.
I've
That's
really
all you
never
need.
cared
Yeah.
about Killzone. I haven't. And just this E3, I'm like, holy shit. I might have to play Killzone.
Like, they've got amazing, awesome ideas going into the guns. They've got vastly different environments for you to play in. They have that awesome one-way plasma shield thing, and I'm like, the best part of Resistance is starting to creep into Killzone.
Yes.
Right, I think they did a 30-year jump, so they have an excuse for, yeah, these weapons got a lot cooler.
They got, unique.
Resistance didn't do the time jump, but they're like, these weapons got a lot more advanced. Fuck Resistance 2.
Yeah. What else did they show? Drive Club is so stupidly gorgeous that it is art porn, which is basically what Gran Turismo is, but this is so much more insanely pretty.
Yeah.
My brain
Fucking,
hurts.
I love the
You get
idea
Drive
of it.
Club free with PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
I've
was
heard that.
fucking crazy.
Well,
Drive
they said it
Club,
was
you
Drive
get the
Club
Drive
PlayStation
Club
Plus
PlayStation Plus edition, which I'm perfectly cool with them
Which,
being
if
like
it's like
everyone.
the free-to-play base model, cool.
Because,
Right.
as we'll mention later, everyone on PS4, or most people on PS4, should have PlayStation Plus. This is basically everyone on PlayStation is now a part of the Drive Club.
That huge free-roaming racing game, like a free-roaming racing game. Like cross-country, off-road with findable missions and skill challenges. And
That was
then
in the
you, like-
Ubisoft conference.
Oh, that wasn't the Ubisoft conference?
yeah,
Yeah.
that was what the crew.
The crew.
The crew.
The
Oh.
crew. They
Right,
showed
yeah.
they showed a lot of footage of that
I
running.
have a
It was-
huge problem with conflating racing games because I usually don't care about any of them.
It's true. He doesn't care about any of them. I generally I don't give one shit about the crew. Like, that doesn't.
It's a
look-
racing game. Is it the Ridge Racer on the PSP? Well, then.
Is it at least Ridge Racer? Oh, this is Ridge Racer. This isn't Ridge Racer, and that's how last year or the year before went. But yeah, I look at the crew and I'm just sort of like, racing the whole world sounds like a just gimmicky pile of shit that you came up with.
It's a
because you couldn't come
griefing
up-
playground.
Yeah.
Like, that shit will just immediately turn into Mad Max. Speaking of which,
They also showed a trailer for Mad Max on the
whole
PS4.
room full of people trying to guess what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Bob once again magics it out of his ass.
It looked like the intro to Road Warrior.
It did. We're like, Road Warrior? No one made a Road Warrior game. And then it keeps going and we're guessing other things. It really looks like Road Warrior. No,
Somebody said it's Uncharted. That's Nathan Drake, and they're like casting his face is completely in shadow and it's a low shot. And I'm like, if that's Nathan Drake, this is gonna be like the Last of Us edition of Uncharted. He's gonna be a brutal fucking murderer.
We're like, is it a Fallout? Did they make another Fallout?
Oh yeah, they also showed a new trailer for Knack. And they talked a bit more about the gameplay. I think they were like, we're gonna do gameplay. That's basically all it boiled down to.
He had a voice.
It's going to be a fun game, and this has a voice actor, and that's when I was like I did many times during E3, I totally called that. He has a voice. They just didn't announce it because they needed something to announce at E3, and his voice is kind of deep. And I'm like, it's Fred Tatasciore, and then he talks, and I'm like, I knew it.
Should we talk about how awesome Destiny is now?
Are we there? I think we're there.
I think we're about there.
We're just about there. Yeah.
Well, earlier, in between the actual conferences, they showed off Thief running on the PS4 because the PS4 version was the most done. So that was yet another PS4 game that was at the conference. Pre E3. That was. Now we can talk about Destiny.
Oh my god, Destiny looks so fucking awesome.
It does. So fucking awesome. It's so unbelievably cool. It is just like
if you haven't seen that video, one, the fuck is wrong with you? Two, pause this goddamn inane podcast. Go watch that fucking video. You back? Okay. Pause it again. Go watch it again. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, my sole justification for the PS4 really does just boil down to this is how I'm going to get my best Destiny experience. That's
all you would even need.
Yeah,
honestly.
like I could buy it on the PS3, but why would I do that?
You could buy Destiny on the PS3?
Yeah, it's multi-gen. Strangely enough.
They showed off the PS4 version, though, and my great Jesus, was that pretty.
Yeah. Oh, God, the lighting in it was fuck me.
At one point, they just blow out the power in an entire place, and you send up...
They, like, relight it from the back, and there's all the pipes and shit.
What was that thing?
The Guilty Spark.
They basically sent out Guilty Spark from Halo to re-turn on the lights, and he just floats away, and his light is casting shadows everywhere through the catwalks and rails.
The section right before that, there's, like, light going through, like, mist smoke wafting up, and oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I see like a broken pipe on this huge wall, and it goes into the rainbow.
And they fight the boss, and they get the loot, and they go out, and like public event happens, and like another fire team drops in, and like they're shooting the enemies. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. Then like the ship comes down. I'm like, that's an interesting ship design. Wait, and I remember, like, I think I said out loud, like, the whole back of that is, and then, like, the whole back of it unhinges and drops the giant enemy Tachkoma.
It was fucking awesome. I know it's really lame. Usually, like, every time they try to do this sort of thing in a conference, I'm like, oh my god, that is so lame. But I was genuinely amused at the point where the two people come up across the mini-boss, and it says the levels of your partners, and I think even the enemies, I'm not sure if it said the level of the boss, but they start taking on the boss. The first guy drops down dead because he's a sniper and like hugging its face. So then they finally kill it. It's this cool animation. It drops the loot and he revives the guy and he's like, oh, good, we did it. And the first guy's like, well, I did it.
We're not talking about that. Yeah. Oh, God, they got the loot and the gun was awesome. It shot lightning.
Awesome. Each character had his own freaking special ability. Like you saw the sniper enchant his rifle, and
and then like the warlock just throw a huge fucking fireball.
Yeah.
So Destiny looks awesome.
Oh my god!
And there are speeder bikes.
The
pod race was great.
Speeder bikes. I played Old Republic, and you couldn't get speeder bikes till way too late in that game.
That's unfortunate.
Destiny speeder bikes game of the year.
Game of the year. Game of the forever. The forever game.
Do we have to play
what's a future game?
Is that Black Man from the earlier trailer? I want to play as him.
I want to play as the black guy from Resistance 1. Because he wasn't in Resistance 3 and I was disappointed. Where's his fucking statue?
Was he player 2?
Why isn't he in the Sentinel program? Yeah, just some black guy.
Good.
Doing all the fucking work depending on who you're playing with. Nathan Hale's amazing. Oh, I'm a fucking white man. World War II.
So yeah, did they show off any other PS4 things? There's so much.
There's so much.
So
Great conference. I'm still unpacking that shit in my head.
They announced at some point that in order to work in backwards compatibility, you would actually they're unleashing the cloud streaming via Gaikai next year, and that the backwards compatible catalog will be available through that for PS3.
The beautiful thing is they actually came out and they said, we're working on it. It's probably going to work maybe in this time frame.
Yeah.
They were able to do this because of what happened right before that.
Mm-hmm.
When Jack Tretton walks out on stage and says, BT dubs, y'all, there's no DRM in the PS4. We're totally cool with used games. You can switch your disc. You can give it to your friends. You can sell it to somebody else. We don't give a shit. It's your goddamn game.
But of course, it took about 30 times, no, longer than that, 50 times as long as Aggro's delivery to say that on stage because people went fucking nuts. They're like, here at PlayStation, we believe when you buy a game, you should own it. Basically, is what they did.
Erupted.
And, you know, good.
Yeah. But
right?
let's talk
it's
about...
an industry we can breathe a sigh of relief after that.
Yeah.
This is huge for the larger narrative. Like this moment was affected by Sony. It was created by Microsoft.
Uh-huh.
Sony could have said any goddamn thing at all after that, and we would have been like, cool.
In fact, they did. Right after that.
Beautifully snuck that shit in there.
You have to have PlayStation Plus now to play online games on the PS4. Now, here's the thing. I understand because I follow these things. I understand the significance of these things. I understand why that is, and more importantly, why my money going into it is going to benefit me. Mm-hmm. But the larger group of people who are watching this are going to go, PlayStation Plus sells me games for cheaper and gives me free stuff occasionally. I still don't want to pay for online, Sony. And I understand that. I really do. I'm not Microsoft. I'm not going to be here and be like, you guys are idiots. But like, here's the thing. When they bought Gaikai, part of the main reason why they bought Gaikai wasn't just the cloud streaming stuff. To get the cloud streaming gameplay working via Gaikai for the Walmart website so you could play the games on that, because that was fully deployed before they bought them. This wasn't an incubator level thing. They were running Crysis 2 via web browsers on like Walmart's website.
Damn.
Or EA's website.
Future.
Origin. It was Origin led you to a web
I don't think it's Walmart.
Fucking Origin.
They did Walmart,
Origin
though. They did a game for
program.
Walmart.
It's a series of web pages.
So Steam.
Like, boot up this program to take you to a web page to start your game. Fuck off, Origin.
That's Battlefield 3, yeah. It pissed me off. But in any case, that's not what's important right now. What's important right now is the reason they were able to get this to work is they actually won a Guinness World Record for the fastest goddamn network infrastructure. Period. There's a period at the end of
Done.
that. Context? I don't need your context. Wait, sorry. Where we're going, we don't need context. Yeah, and they were evaluating it, and when they unveiled the PS4, they said they had just been greenlit to unleash the network throughout the entire US. So they're going to build the fastest network for gaming ever and deploy this insane level of network infrastructure all throughout the US. So we can do this cloud streaming stuff. So we can play our games while they're downloading after we've bought them. And these are the sort of cool things we're going to see from that. But Sony didn't really do a good job of messaging. PlayStation Plus, you pay for it to do multiplayer, but this is why it's going to be amazing. Mm-hmm. Cool thing is, though, that you don't need PlayStation Plus to play single player. So you don't have to be connected to the internet to play single player.
Yeah, that they were...
Which that is how they couch that statement. You don't need it to use the media service as single player. Like, that moment happened. I looked across the room at Dan, and he had the same worried look I did. Oh, shit, did they just do that?
Yeah.
Because honestly, like, talking about the greater narrative here, in a couple of days when people start figuring this out, they're going to be pissed.
I think it's really going to be when they get their PS4 to the people who aren't connected to websites that are going to suck the blood out of this news until it's completely dry for the sake of views. they're going to get their fucking PS4. They're going to plug it in. They're going to register themselves on the PlayStation Network, and then they're not going to be able to play online. And that's a bit of an issue.
I mean, Sony has always been like that. Was every E3 for the last 5 years has been like, we don't make you pay for online. That's what bitches do.
Yeah, and then the last 2 have been like, PlayStation Plus offers incredible value to everyone ever. You get free games and discounts on new games a lot of the time. Also, you get free games. Did I mention free games? We also have the cloud and free games.
Now, see, like that's this huge thing of like the cloud and the Gaikai and the whole backwards library. Like, I think I joked in our last podcast, it's getting to the point where I'd rather just pay Sony a subscription instead of buying games. I think this is the first step to a completely new, like, they're moving forward with a new model.
Basically building their own Netflix, I don't doubt it. In fact, some people were theorizing that the PS3 as a backwards catalog may be that. It may be a sort of service publishers can enlist their games into to work on the Netflix paradigm. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I see that larger picture. Sony Pictures guy came out on stage to announce that for movies, for TV shows, that's what Video Unlimited is going to be. So it's that same concept applied to games. And I really think, that's probably going to happen. Hell, PlayStation Plus basically is that, because it's like, good job, you paid for PlayStation Plus. That was $4 this month. Cool. Here's this $24 Vita game for free.
Yeah, I remember where they gave us like the free month of Plus after the fuck up. I'm like,
and what was it?
Free Sonic 2, awesome.
Yeah, I know, that was great, wasn't it?
Yeah. Then it Plus put away and I got to keep it.
It doesn't work.
It did.
It's not. Well, your Plus probably went away later than you thought it should. Mine did.
I think I checked this much later. I don't know. I'll check again.
Check again. Because what it's supposed to be is everything you get for free with Plus won't work once you're not Plus.
Right. That's what it's supposed to be.
What was I saying? Oh, yeah. But PlayStation Plus, it was like, here's a free Vita game and free 2 downloadable games for the PS3 and a free, like, retail PS3 game
it was like
on top
Sleeping
of all
Dogs,
this.
which is not that old.
Yeah, it's barely over a year old.
It was not even a year old when it got on there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is now like, and this is the kind of thing this industry is capable of doing this shit. Mm-hmm. Whenever I go on the internet and I see pictures where people are, because
aggro,
they're mad that people are fucking with their used games market. People love buying used games because they're cheaper, and the way they're looking at this problem is like, well, if you make new games as cheap as used games, I'd stop buying used games. But if we would cold turkey that shit a little bit, this is the kind of thing you're should accomplish. Games can be cheaper. Look at Steam. There is absolutely no used game market on the PC. Mm-hmm. And PC games are frequently cheap as shit. Mm-hmm. With amazing, like, deep fucking sales every now and then.
But, admittedly, over the last year and a half, that really slowed down. We haven't seen anything crazy as this came out 3 months ago, and now it's 90% off.
No, not that deep, no.
That kind of stopped for the last year and a half, because I remember Christmas of 2011, it was fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm. And then it was Christmas.
And then
a lot of people were pissed at Steam.
Yeah, see, that's what happened. The backlash happened. They're reducing the value of our games. And I disagree with that argument, because I bought so much shit that I have not.
This is the larger mathematical discussion.
This is horrible. This is first world problems. I haven't even fucking played them, but I bought them because I was like, at this price, I have to.
Like Steam, like they always talk about, or Valve always talks about how gamers have 2 lists. They have the one in their head and the one on their hard drive. And their crazy ass sales are how you move that game from the head list to the hard drive list.
Yeah. But yeah, so here's another facet of that. Sony on the Vita sells the games digitally, and they try to get the publisher to go along with the concept that is really fucking good. They're like, hey, the game's going to be $40 at retail, or $50 if you're retarded like us. So why don't you just go ahead and on PlayStation Online, just go ahead and knock like $4 off that. We'll take off half of it. We'll lose half of that, and the game's going to be that much cheaper. They can't trade in the digital version. They'll buy it. There are a lot of these fuckers who are lining up to buy it on day one anyways. You might as well save them a few bucks, and then they can't trade it in, and ta-da! You just got rid of the used game market, you dipshit! This isn't a hard concept.
Right? And the whole
That's
thing
a
is
really
just
good paradigm.
offer a value.
Right.
That's what you have.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do. Is a member of the freaking economy.
Right, yeah, you
Give
have to
the-
offer a compelling value. Because it's not just offering value. Technically, by making people play for PlayStation Plus, they added a value to the multiplayer aspect of their console. You have to compel them. You have to make it compelling to them. You have to sell that to them. So, digital, cheaper, done.
At least with the PlayStation Plus snafu thing, you at least are able to still use Netflix and other streaming services
Yeah.
without PlayStation Plus.
Which
Yeah.
is really fucking
Thank
smart.
God, because that was the dumbest thing on Xbox.
I'm gonna pay for years later. I heard that, and I'm like, you're shitting me. People still own that console after that.
Yeah, it was.
And I think Shuei Ishida actually tweeted that it is the same as it works with Gold now. One PlayStation Plus account, every account on that PS4 can play online.
Are you
Yeah?
serious?
Yes, he confirmed that in a tweet.
Okay.
High fives. I was like, man, Tosh is not gonna want to
Yeah,
get
I've been reading
fucking
that man's
PlayStation.
tweets. He's been laying down the gospel.
He is a serious fucking man who needs to seriously get respected.
Like he said that, and that the hard drive will be upgradable like it was in the PS3.
I know, I'm like, 2 terabyte laptop hard drive. How much will you cost in November?
Oh, that's something we just totally walked over. That they showed the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, they showed the
Yeah,
PlayStation 4.
I don't think it's carried that much.
But it looks
what was
really
great-
good.
Every live tweet I read about the conference, they're like they're showing the box. It looks just like the Xbox One. Wait, no, he turned it.
Yeah, I know. The audience had that reaction too. If he showed it and he had this face, this guilty face, Andrew House did. He's like, "Here it is,"
Oh,
and then he turns it slightly, and then everyone's like, "Wait."
yeah.
Yeah, it actually looks really, really cool. It's a lot smaller than the Xbox One. A lot smaller.
It'll stand up.
Yeah, I think that's a stand they're going to sell separately, like they do.
Either way,
Yeah.
it'll stand up.
Yeah, I
I
appreciate
have a
that.
TV for a monitor, so my desk space is crucial.
Crucial.
But yeah, that's
The design it's completely ventilated back. It's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
got that slit in the center on the front, and then like off on 1/3 cut on the top.
and
that's
it's a
blue.
parallelogram, and
It is a total parallelogram. I have to admit that during the E3 conference, when they showed the shape of it, I said, "Look, it's slanted because it's made by the Japanese."
wow.
You have sullied this podcast.
Please, Sony, send me a free PS4.
My Mario Kart's dying. 1 second. You think I'm kidding?
No, I don't.
Oh, we've been using the battery power for this whole podcast.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, indeed. Bob, I'm unplugging your 3DS. You've been
So,
getting enough juice.
I've been hearing conflicting stories.
Yeah.
About this whole no DRM stance. I've heard on the one hand that they've just had it for a while. This was gonna be their decision, and with the whole please Sony no DRM Twitter movement, they're like, can we tell them yet? And then I've heard opposite stories that no, they said that and they saw the backlash and then went for this.
The majority of the consensus from Sony people has been that it was never considered because
It would be anti-consumer.
it would be anti-consumer, and a lot of studies have shown that you don't put DRM on something, it sells better. Because there are plenty of people who avoid things that have DRM issues, and plenty of things with DRM have issues.
Yeah.
So that's the majority of the consensus, but one statement from one guy can be interpreted in such a way that it might mean that they considered DRM at one point. And it was the guy who was like, "Thank you guys, we appreciate your communication on this." And journalists has taken that as if it meant something, it meant something, then that means they were considering it.
Oh my god.
And I would like to note that I was smart enough to recognize the whole time that Sony would never consider that, because we all saw how the Microsoft Xbox One went. And any idiot with a fucking brain who knew human beings who played fucking games would have known that would have fucking happened. Microsoft, god damn it. That's so stupid. Mm-hmm. They thought they could do this.
Yeah.
They knew in their heart of hearts.
It's like 10 years ago when Delta was like, we're gonna raise airline ticket prices because everyone else is going to, and everyone else is like, what, are you fucking stupid? No, we're not.
And I love the message that came out after Microsoft did it. I love that. No, I don't. It pisses me off. All these people are like, publishers made them do it.
Oh, God.
And then it leaked. No, Microsoft went to the publishers with it and said, look, we can do this. Dude, don't you like our platform more now?
I don't know what I'd like more. To watch them just try and explain that, no, this is good for you. Or see if they'll just completely 180 this shit and try to just take it off.
Yeah, that's
like, I think they may be too blind and drunk on themselves to do that at this point.
It might even be built too hardcore into the system at this point to fix.
It's just like all those people who are like, publishers made them do it. Well, no, we've had leaks from certain people who leaked other information that proved true about E3, Seaboat, that, it was Microsoft who approached publishers. Well, publishers aren't going to let Sony... Okay, here's the thing, right? Sony had 70 million install base, right? You're going to walk away from 70 million potential customers because they don't have DRM?
As we move forward, we really need to get a hold of
idiot.
it that publishers are not going to have the power anymore. As we move further into digital, no, they're not. They're not the huge throw their weight around entities they used to be.
Yeah, which is weird because they're more bloated than ever. So it appears on the surface that they are like that.
Which really narratively puts Sony in a great position of, getting all this huge fan faith of just coming out and going, no, publishers, stop fucking up.
No, we have no DRM.
And you're gonna like it.
And it is possible for third-party publishers to come in and do their own DRM thing. Sony said they're not going to outright dictate. No. But they have this look on their face when they say it of, they would have to be fucking retarded after the Microsoft thing, wouldn't they?
Right? And after the SimCity thing, I'm sure everyone's jumping on the DRM boat.
Like a sword at the end of days.
Like, Sony, on our game, we need your console to be constantly connected to the internet so we can communicate with the servers to make sure it's not pirated. Sony's like, okay.
No.
Now fuck off.
Later, Tom. Later, Sony. Yeah. It was a fucking great conference.
Yeah.
That was easily, in all of my years of watching E3, the best conference ever. Mm-hmm. And I have so much faith that next year will actually be better. Because even more games.
Yeah.
Less PS3, which is not what I'm excited about. I'm excited about the Vita. I'm excited about the PS4. I'm not excited about the PS3. So less PS3, more Vita and PS4.
Maybe we'll see more than one Vita game.
There was a Vita game at E3?
They showed us Killzone again.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Maybe we'll get another Uncharted next year.
Like, I've forgotten what it's like to have a lot of fun at E3 because I've been a Sony fanboy for the past few years.
Not that Microsoft
it was
better.
Yeah,
the E3 is
only one
disappointing.
One good E3 happened in Nintendo once, and that was it.
2005 was a great E3.
Was it? No.
No?
Because Nintendo didn't really do anything at E3 2005. It was Tokyo Game Show or Space World. I think it was Tokyo Game Show. They did Tokyo Game Show that year, and that's when they were like, this is the Wii. And it was like, or this is the Revolution, and they showed the controller and explained that. And then 2006, they're like, it's called Wii. And everyone's like, oh my god.
Which year was Nintendo's great E3?
The year that was Nintendo's great E3 was like 2009, 2010,
like before the
when they were
3DS
like,
came out.
here's the crazy amount of Wii fan service we have prepared for you. Metroid, Donkey Kong, all this fucking shit, and Wii fans are like, we knew it, and I'm like, guys, no, their casual sales went down. Whatever.
We knew they didn't abandon us. Nintendo doesn't love you.
Will you stop saying that?
Like Microsoft actively despises you. Nintendo just doesn't love you. Sony would really like you to love it.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm okay with Sony, because they're not trying to convince me I love them, or that they love me. They're just like, we're trying to be the best.
Like Jack Tretton's like, would you buy a video game? Don't make this weird.
I love the Shuhei Yoshida. He literally, like, in an interview a while back, when someone was asking about the DRM stuff, he was like, do you want us to do that?
Yeah, he was like, now, mandate on the always online connection, blah, 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 DRM, blah, blah, blah. Are you guys going to do that? And just all he says back to him is, do you want us to do that? The guy's like, no, that's anti-consumer. It's a horrible rights thing. It basically removes the sense of property. And he's like, then there you go.
Shuhei out.
Mic drop. And now I mic drop our $400 mic. We good? Any closing comments on the best E3 ever?
Oh my god, it's finally good to be a Sony fanboy again.
Oh, I know my comment. Holy shit, is the PS4 gorgeous? I'm so glad because I really pissed off some PC Master Race assholes the week leading into E3 when I'm like, no, like the PS4 is fucking amazing, guys. Did you not see Killzone? What do you mean you don't care about Killzone? Who gives a shit if you don't care about Killzone? Go watch that video. This thing's gorgeous.
Also, ancillary effect of the new generation, we are bringing down the PC Master Race.
Yes.
Fuck you guys.
Like every time a new generation happens.
and this is the best part. Intel doesn't love you anymore. Intel's done with
Intel's
desktop.
been incapable of love for a long time.
True enough. But they're done with increasing performance. They're going all mobile. They're going all energy savings. The increase performance-wise over their last chip, which was a long time before this, was 10%. They're fucking done. They're fucking done with you guys. We're going to be on PS4 a really long time.
Yeah, like if this is the last console generation,
damn, did
it's
we
a
do
good
well.
one.
Yeah, right? $400?
Yeah.
I'm glad to see things advertising 60 frames per second.
I know, right? Fuck yeah.
Talk about that, because that is so important.
It is. It is so damn important for 60 frames per second to be in our games. And I'm so glad they're
going to be true this time.
Well, they didn't lie to us about that. They lied to us about resolution.
Right.
This plays in 720p, well scaled. So awesome. So everyone in this podcast has a PS4 pre-ordered already.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
No more than 24. In fact, fewer than 24 hours.
And by the time this podcast goes up, you probably won't be able to pre-order one.
That's actually true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I remember when like we all had PS3s and you pop in folding at home and it had like the globe and shit and all those lights. Like, are those lights PS3s? Are those our PS3s? Do we have like the only 5 in the American South so far?
Yeah, the rest of them were flipped online for cash. Speaking of which, this would be a good console to do that for. Demand's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Every online poll so far has been hugely in Sony's favor. I mean, my Twitter feed's hipsters, my Twitter feed's industry analysts, my Twitter feed's developers, my Twitter feed is journalists, my Twitter feed is retro gamers. Universally, they all want the PS4.
Yeah.
Holy shit ass goddamn.
This is the kind of smug you can only get by having been right, pretending you weren't wrong for several years, and being right again. Because in retrospect, maybe no one will remember that the PS3 was tough times with a few great exclusive games.
No, see, that was Sony's arrogance, and this is how it's going to be remembered. When they look back, they're going to be like, remember when they stopped being assholes and announced the PS4? I'm like, I remember 4 years... actually longer, 5 years where they weren't assholes. And then they announced the PS4, where they just couldn't get games because some asshole named Ken Kuragi made an indecipherable chip of madness.
I just love how publishers, like, every time Naughty Dog would show something off, they just look at them like, how the fuck are you doing that?
Yeah, like fucking Infinity Ward. Back in Modern Warfare 2 days, absolutely convinced Sony had some special club.
They were just telling people.
They're like, maybe with Modern Warfare 2, we'll get into that club. And Naughty Dog's like, there's no club. We're this amazing. What?
They've got there was a picture of like 6 PS3s just stacked together they were using as a processor.
Yeah. This is how we render our cutscenes.
This is how we mix sand.
Okay, we done?
I guess.
Peace out, bitches. Peace out. Go pre-order your PS4. Oh, wait, you can't.